Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, hold up. Okay. Are we good? Are we good to go?
I think so.
Okay. FYI, Restream does not work well with Safari.
Nope. I've had that problem before.
So, we are on Chrome now, so we're good. So what's up, guys? What's up, Potato? How was your day?
It was okay. I can't even remember what I did today. What did I
you
do
relax?
Today? Not a lot. I think I slept.
Well, you probably needed it.
I didn't do a lot else.
We had an all-nighter.
I
The other
definitely
night.
had an all-nighter.
You had definitely had the all-nighter.
100%.
We had a partial.
We've kind of been playing a catch-up. So I cannot remember today.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got to catch up at least.
I definitely did. Feeling good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're here with bells on.
I don't know about bells, but I'm here.
Bells and whistles. Now, if only we could make sure that when I've got this audio here of Mr. Troy McCoy, I'm going to make sure that you can hear it. And we do have somebody else that might be joining us, Miss Kelly.
How exciting.
I know. She's got a lot going on at her house, so hopefully she will be able to be here. Can you hear this?
Nope.
Okay. Who do we got in chat while I'm trying to figure this out?
Someone just said, was it Happy Girl? Just said she's been listening on catch up on 2 times speed and now we sound weird.
Oh my God. She's got us used to being chipmunks now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, look at who's here. Ultra Dark CEO. Welcome back.
Hey,
dude,
Andrew
I
B.
got your wrench. Look. Dude, I got your wrench. Has Troy's wrench.
Oh, dude, I got your wrench.
So the reason that I say this, right, about his wrench, his wrenchy, is because that's the excuse he used when he went to the site after the bodies were disposed. So we went over that before, that he was out at Cervi at 11:15. It's in the Discovery. And he was caught out there by the water guy that vacuums whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever company, and had to sign something just because they crossed paths and signed his name. And then that was how they found out he had been out there.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know that he'd been out there until yesterday. I didn't really look into Troy at all, so I know nothing.
You know, I did briefly. He was there after they were disposed of, before they were found. He was out there at 11:15 a.m. on the 12th or the 13th.
14th.
14th.
Tuesday 14th. So the day before they were found.
Are you sure it was Tuesday? Why am I so confused these days?
Yeah. He was out there on the Monday as well. Because he was out there when Chris was there. And then he went back on the Tuesday to find his wrench.
Kind of like the folk.
I was like, huh?
The folk and the wrench. Troy did it with the wrench and Sadie did it with the folk.
The carving folk.
The carving folk. It was a long folk. It was a folk.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee, that was a folk. Okay, look, we've got Discovery. Let's see where Troy is mentioned. Shall we?
Let's.
All right. So obviously that's just like the digital evidence stuff.
Carrie said, what the folk?
What the fork? Okay, so Roberts called Troy McCoy, Cody Roberts is another employee, to confirm what he read. Roberts has known Chris for 2 years and considers him a work friend. Roberts is the one that broke down crying. He did an interview as well, and he's the one that cried when, he was talking about his wife and his children. It was actually really sad because I think it really, really affected this guy, Roberts, Cody. And it says here on 8/12, okay. Sunday, this is Chris. I have whip checks for the Cervi 629. I'm going to go straight out there from my house in the morning. I will look at that 319 as well and run the 1129 if you want. Roberts, I was going to head out there first thing tomorrow to check out the 319. Now this was at 17:06. So
5 p.m.
Okay, so after the party? Or during the party, maybe?
It must have been during.
Weird. Okay. And then Cody says, I was going to head out there in the morning. And then he says, did Troy talk to you about what I found out there Friday afternoon? And then Chris says, yep, I was standing right next to him, LOL. I was giving him a fire stick to look at. I can go out there, though. No sense in both of us going out there, LOL. Why is he saying LOL so much? Like, what's so funny?
Habit, I guess. Like, LOL.
Mm-hmm. Uncomfortable silence, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Cody says, all right, good, man. Good, sounds good, man. I appreciate it. I think I still have a couple conies left out there. I can let you know in the morning and let you know. And let me know if you find anything at the 319. If not, we may pressure test that BP line and see if it's leaking underground. So there was a pressure problem, right?
That's what it sounds like.
18,
a pressure problem causing that leak.
See if it's leaking underground.
Mm-hmm.
Watts says, copy that. Then he doesn't hit him up again until, well, we went through that yesterday. The times are weird, but where are you at? Just got fuel in Kiersey. So that's one of them. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. Bella always gets vocal when I'm live.
She's just saying hello.
I always. And she does like the weird, like low bark. Like, I don't want to bark too loud.
Yeah, kind of quiet.
But I still want to bark. Okay.
She's like, I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna anyway.
Right. Oh my gosh. So down here, Troy asked him, if you need anything, let me know. On, I don't know what date that was. Watts me. Okay, hang on. Troy talked to you about what I got there this afternoon. Okay. June 26th, 2018. Watts told Troy McCoy, coworker, quote, I landed last night around 2 a.m. I'm around all day if you need to ask me something. McCoy replied, okay, cool, buddy. Get some rest. Watts responded, LOL, you're crazy. Kids are out of control.
Hmm.
And then it's a lot of gibberish. June. Right. LOL, you're crazy. Just like that one. You're ridiculous. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They would freak out.
It sounds like it's replying to something else.
Where did he go that he flew in on June 25th? San Diego? Was it the San Diego trip?
I guess so. I can't remember off the top of my head, though.
Did they go to San Diego and then they got back and she left for North Carolina again? Is that how it went? I don't recall. It's been a while.
Remember.
June 27th, Shannon, look at this. Shannon and her daughter's family, Shannon and her daughters flew to North Carolina where they stayed with family for 42 days. Why would Chris say I landed? June 30th, Watts searched the internet for information on tickets to Bandimere Speedway. June 4th, Watts called Shanann and talked for 19 minutes and watched fireworks with Nick and Amanda. How could he sit there at the fireworks? I wonder what that was like for Nick and Amanda.
Awkward.
And then he stopped at their home after, and his phone connected to their router. Creep Town. Shanann called Watts and held a 2.5 minute conversation the next day. All right, we're not going to go through all their texts. Here's where Josh comes in, though, on the 6th. Think this was a setup? Josh Rosenberg asks Watts at 7:48 a.m. how bachelor life is going.
Okay.
Watts replied he was exercising a lot, working extra weekend shifts, and the time was going by fast. He knew exactly who that was being relayed to.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie, have Josh text Chris and see what he's doing.
See what he's up to.
Yes, because he's being distant and not answering my calls.
Mm-hmm. What do bachelors do?
Right.
You got the girls back.
Right. How's bachelor life going? Wow. So then at 9:57 a.m., Shanann then called Chris and they talked for 3 minutes. And then she called back again and they talked for almost 4. Sounds like fights.
Yeah.
See, here it is again, that same day. 11 minutes, 3 minutes, 8 minutes. Oh, and then at 18:52, she said, call Vivint before what's FUP? Fuck you up?
That's what I was thinking.
What is that? Before I FUP?
That's all I can think of.
Watts advised they are sending sensor for the garage door. I tried moving it like they said, and it didn't work. So here we have the garage door supposedly screwing up the sensor. Mm-hmm. Funny, he didn't mention that when they were talking about the notifications on the phone.
Yeah.
Coming through. He didn't say like, oh, hey, the sensor needed to be replaced, did he?
Nope. Did he say that it wasn't working though?
I don't know if she was getting like, if she got a notification and she was like, Chris, what is this about? If there was one that came through that she didn't understand, or if she wasn't getting them at all. I don't know.
I thought it was because she wasn't getting anything.
And that could be.
Can you make it a bit bigger? Because I can't really see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really small.
For sure. How's that?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Ask and you shall receive. I can even zoom in just a little bit. How's that?
That's good.
So I also found video of Chris actually getting those footprints taken.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to that real quick. There's just so many nuggets. So many nuggets. So little time.
Yeah, I think she was going crazy because she couldn't see any notifications. And she was wondering what was going on. Because she would have been keeping track of him, wouldn't she? And if she wasn't seeing anything,
definitely
she'd have been like,
well, yeah, because he wasn't staying there, right? So like he was staying at Nicole's and it's looking like he ain't even at home.
Which is probably why there was no notifications. He wasn't going in the house.
Because he wasn't there.
She's like, wait, you're not leaving and you're not coming back. Like, you need to get that sorted because I can't see what's going on.
I thought that I remember in the beginning.
I wasn't even there.
I thought there was in the beginning where she had actually called and said, go out to the garage and test it or something like. And I think he was there and he actually like got up and went out. I can't remember where I read that. It was either texts of theirs or I don't remember.
I can't remember that.
But there was something. But okay, so here.
Oh, I remember this video.
And I never really paid much attention to it. I was just like, oh, you know, they're booking him and stuff. But lo and behold, I let it all 50 minutes play. Most of the time he's just, you know, sat there in his orange. And there's no sound. But I happened to look up at one point and I was like, what are all these people doing? See how they've all arrived? I'm not sure who is sitting there. I think that's one of the nurses. Okay, so now let's fast forward just a little bit. Because they're going to move Chris to the other side of the table. See over here, I think they're doing the hand ones. See?
Yeah.
So there he's getting his hand impressions.
I never noticed that before.
Me either. Do you see his lawyers anywhere back there? I can't really
it's hard to
tell who they are. There's quite a few people, but there's like two of them doing the procedure. Then there's, looks like a bunch of males. I don't see that one female lawyer. So this was October 4th. They did this. Okay, so now they come over here and they're like, Chris, wash your hands. I mean, he's very willing to do what they say. He's freely, you know, they're not like by the arm. Come on.
That's how he is, though, isn't it?
He's not even cuffed.
That's what he's told.
Yeah, he's not even cuffed.
Yeah, they know.
And they're not afraid. He's not even cuffed, and none of them are afraid. There's not one guard standing near him. He could put his hands around that woman's neck right now.
But he knows that they'd be on him.
And he wouldn't dare. Look at him. He would
nowhere to go.
And they know it.
Yep.
Craziness. All right, so they're going to do that. This is like 50 minutes long total. And here he did the other hand. Get cleaned up, Mr. Watts. Look how gray he is in the back.
Silver fox. Maybe that's where Dr. Bill got it from.
That's why he called him the silver fox. Oh my God. Maybe that's a lawyer right there in the black top. Is that lady that is sitting next to him? I think it is. She's there to protect his rights. See, now he's going to take his damn shoes off. I wish I could hear what they're explaining to him right now. I mean,
I would know what they took his feet for.
I know. I would love to ask these ladies that did the feet impressions, like, how often are you called to do these?
Yeah.
Is this normal procedure? Because it seems really weird.
They must have found something.
They had to go through all this.
Yeah.
On October the 4th?
Doing feet though. Yeah.
I know, feet?
I can't
wait,
deal with
you'll see her have to get down there and she's got to wash them.
Oh, no.
Just watch. Yep, she's down by his Weld County feet. I couldn't do it.
Like, can you go wash your feet first?
Bless
and
her.
then we'll do them.
Bless her. Oh man. So there's in the blue, I believe that's who's the one that retired? Broomhoover.
Yeah.
I think that is his female lawyer, though.
Well, she's staying close to him, so it probably is.
Mm-hmm. I just love to know why they're doing this. Look at her washing his feet. I mean, I wonder if they even explained to Chris why they wanted the foot impressions, or if they just said, we need to take foot impressions. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't ask, would he? He'd be like, why are you taking
Do whatever you want. You need an impression on my butt? I'll sit on a plaster.
Just tell me where to sit. I'll do it.
For real. Very compliant.
Mm-hmm. Feet impression seems like an extra. Yeah, it does.
It really does. So did the hand. Well, everything seems very extra on October 4th.
Like they're filling in the gaps or something.
Yeah, because they had already talked about the plea and everything else. Like all of, what did they come across that made them want to check his hands and feet for comparables? It doesn't say what they're comparing it to.
Mm-hmm. There must be something in Discovery that has a footprint on it somewhere.
Do you think?
There must be.
Maybe it's redacted, though.
Possibly. I'm sure I've heard, though, that there was a footprint on a bag or something. I don't know if that's true. But
I heard that early on, too, on a garbage bag.
Yeah.
But I never heard anything more about it. I don't even know where I heard it. If it was just a rumor.
Me neither. Yeah, same. So I don't really think about that kind of stuff, but I didn't realize they'd taken his feet impressions.
Me
so
either.
I probably would have paid more attention if I'd known that.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll search. I'm getting this audio. Hold on. I have to do something to it for Troy so you can hear it. I had to add pictures to it, so you're going to see NK. I apologize.
Blah.
I'm really just doing this for the audio. I promise I won't subject you to her bikini pictures too long.
Thanks.
Okay, it's saving. All right. The Discovery. Well, let me see. Do they do both feet? she did one. See, now she's doing the actual impression. You know what just popped in my head? I remember hearing something a long time ago. But it wouldn't that wouldn't make sense for a bare foot. I heard a long time ago, and this is graphic, so just warning everyone in chat. I heard that, God, I don't even know how to say it without just saying it. That a boot was used to push one of the kids down in the thing.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
But
I think it's when people were trying to figure out how they actually got in there. It's that he would have had to use some kind of force. And that's when they were saying that he would have used his foot. But then that doesn't explain why they're doing bare
feet.
And
maybe Maligator's right. Maybe she was right. There was footprints out there.
Because I did hear that as well, that it was in the sand. But then why would he take his boots off?
Why would he be out there barefooted?
Don't make any sense. But then none of it makes sense. So it's pretty standard for this.
There he's getting the second foot done. It's so weird. How did I never see him doing this before?
I think probably because it's so long and there's no sound. So
so you don't
just
really
kind of zone out. Yeah. It's on,
I swear I've never noticed it. What is our chat room saying?
Also heard there were footprints in the dirt.
Were his boots missing?
Missing?
Remember he had two pairs of boots?
Yeah, he had a new pair and an old pair.
Are they both accounted for?
I thought they were. Because they knew he had two.
I don't think they're investigating NK either, Cammie. Never Silent said, I hope he doesn't have a foot fetish. If he does, then they just made his day.
Oh my God.
That's what we were just talking about, Leah. Not that we've heard of. That's why we were wondering why they were taking those foot impressions.
And not to be taken now. Like, maybe take them when he was first taken in, but October.
Yeah, this is way on October 4th. Maybe he changed his shoes, but wouldn't he have freaking socks on?
In his boots.
Strange. Olive Juice. Olive Juice just said she wants to be the first one to sign up to give Chris a pedicure.
Ugh. No, that's all yours.
Olive Juice wants to give Chris a pedicure. Oh, Olive Juice. Leah says they must have had something to take his footprints like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I want to find out what.
Well, let's take a look at the discovery again.
Maybe he took his boots off thinking they would leave prints, not thinking they would find his actual prints.
I just don't see taking your shoes off out there.
If he didn't want to leave behind his boot prints, maybe. Maybe he tried to get rid of his footprints and missed one.
Was he trying to rake them?
Possibly. Because did they find boot prints or anything out there?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Well, we're going to find out if they put it in there for us or not. If they didn't, we won't find out. So should I just put footprint, all one word or two words?
One word.
Nothing came up with one word. No results.
Impressions? Foot impressions? Boot impressions.
I just put foot and then print. No, I'm not. The only thing that comes up is in... Okay, here, I'll show you guys. Let's share. He's done anyways. It's so bizarre. Okay, let me get rid of that. That. There, now you can see it nice and large.
Very big.
Is it much better?
It is. I can
Okay.
see.
All right, so we have here that we read the other night where it says footprints, like things they collected. Clothing of decedents, footprints, tools, blood stains, saliva, tissue, and any other material that may contain DNA. And then the collection of the defendant's footprints was completed by CBI. While the CBI personnel were collecting the footprints, I began cleaning the table where the prints were collected. I scanned the print cards, Right impressions were obtained and left, and then Watts washed his feet. And all it says is prints, hand, foot impressions collected from Chris Watts for comparison.
So they must have found something.
But for comparison to what? What are they comparing it to? Oh, hold on. We have a guest. I just heard a beep. Hello, Miss Kelly.
Well, hello.
Kelly, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Hello.
What's up, girl? Can you hear us?
Hanging out? Yes, it's kind of shoddy. I don't know what's
Your internet?
going on.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're kind of faint.
I know.
Potato, can you hear her good?
No, it keeps cutting in and out. It's really quiet and cutting in and out.
Yeah, that's hear you. Hold on. I can turn my volume up on this.
Do you have your earbuds in?
No.
I can turn you up. I mean, I can hear you. Can you hear us, though?
Yeah, it sounds like you're going in and out, too. Is that better? It's weird.
Not really.
I can leave and listen.
Are you on your phone?
I am. Should I use a laptop?
Can you, if you can.
Okay.
Try
I'll
it on
to jump
Chrome.
back on. I don't want to ruin what y'all are doing.
Okay, sorry, Cal. No, I want your opinion though, so at least go and chat if you can.
Okay, I sure will.
All right, love you, girl. Bummer.
That sucks.
I know. Well, she's gonna have to give us her thoughts in chat, or she can come up on a computer. I know this thing is tricky on a phone. I've never tried it on my phone.
I haven't either. I have enough problems on the laptop.
Happy Girl said, everything I just read says the imprints were for the bag found by Shanann's body that had a footprint on it. Where did you see that?
That's what I thought I saw.
But where?
I don't know. in news reports or something. I can't remember it being in the news though.
No, I can't either.
Let me Google it.
Yeah, you Google it. I'm looking at garbage bag and Discovery. Why did Frank Rusek have her makeup bag?
They really wanted that makeup bag as well.
Why did they take her makeup bag and then take it back to North Carolina and then give it to investigators?
I got no idea.
What was in that?
Did they ever say?
Mm-mm.
I know he really wanted it.
Explanations, yeah.
Oh, new evidence prompts Weld DA to ask for Christopher Watts' footprints.
Ooh, do tell.
What is this? The Colorado one.
Look how he's sitting now. Wait, I still have this video playing.
The Weld County District Attorney's Office has asked the court to order Christopher Watts to provide inked footprints after they say investigators found a possible bare footprint on a bag at the oil field where his wife and children's bodies were found.
So what the heck? Did it match? What were the results? We never get the results.
I'm seeing if it says anything more. It just goes on to say about his arrest and stuff. The September 18 motion states that a Colorado Bureau of Investigation agent developed possible bare footprint impressions from a bag collected at the location.
Terry Furman feels that the girls were gone before Shanann got home.
A lot of people think that.
I'm trying to find Thunder's question. Thunder had a question.
The defense objected to the September 12th motion, saying that forcing Watts to provide what the court described as non-testimonial evidence violates his constitutional rights against unreasonable search and seizure and self-incrimination.
They wanted his footprint. Wait. Thank you, Thunder.
And that's all it says.
Yeah, so there's no result. Like, okay.
Like does it say if it matched or not?
Yeah. Unreal. They're still messing with it. Oh, they're putting his little feet things back on. What are they doing?
His ankle shackles.
His booties.
It's his shackles.
Shackles.
I said something earlier today to my daughter, and she was like, "You say stuff really weird." I was like, "Thanks."
Are you talking like an American?
I don't know what's going on. She was like, "You say stuff so strange."
I don't know what's going on. You sound like an American.
I don't pick up accents though. It's bad.
I do too. Carrie says foot massage, prison edition.
Nice.
All right. Let's get this Troy McCoy going. We're going to do a little tester here.
Oh. Nice pick.
Well, we're going to see if it even works. Because it's still saving right now. So let me play and see if it works, if you can hear it.
Nope.
Can you hear it?
No.
You can't?
I can't.
See, this is what confuses me about this program. There's nowhere to add just an audio file. Like you have to add a video file. So it won't let me add just Troy's audio. I have to make it into a movie with pictures in order for you to hear it. It's so
I think
stupid.
it's ever simple as it.
It never is simple. It just never is. Let's see. Troy, McCoy. And let me just tell you, when you listen to this, pay attention to just the way he kind of like, he gives me the vibes of someone who has been in trouble before and knows what they want to hear type thing. He just kind of seems like kind of a brown noser.
Given them
Do you know what a brown noser is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of transparent. And I looked at his Facebook today and he has some colorful friends from what I could see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened
Kelly's
to this
back.
movie.
Are you
Yes.
there?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes. How
That
are you?
sounds so much better.
So much better.
Okay. Good deal.
Okay, so have you been listening so far?
I kind of caught, and then I had to get off my phone to send myself the link that you sent me in text earlier. I had to email it to myself, so I had to copy and paste and stuff like that. So it's no big deal. And I had to cook my family spaghetti. And when you said 7 Eastern, I don't know why I was thinking 8. My brain's just gone.
All of ours
I've been
are,
taking
girl.
care of people for weeks.
Well, I want to introduce you to Potato. Incognito
Well, hey,
Potato's on
Potato.
panel too.
Hello, Kelly.
It's nice to
Hello.
finally meet you. I've seen you in chat and such.
I know, and you too.
I love your voice.
Thank you.
I know everybody does. They're like, can she talk me to sleep?
I know.
So what do you think about the footprint collection from Chris, the imprints?
I think a lot of things about a lot of things. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just curious. There was no follow through because it happened so fast. So it's hard to determine or even think about what their thoughts were. I know there was a footprint on a bag.
yeah, that's what we were just saying.
But
And that was on October 4th. So way after the fact, they came back and said, oh, hey, we need your hand and footprints. But
Right.
never any results. Like, did it match whatever they were comparing it to, you know? We never heard.
if they stopped looking for evidence, then why test it? They clearly wanted to save money. The state of Colorado wanted to save money. So if they're not going to follow through with it and they get a plea deal, and considering DA Rourke was in Chris's cell like the end of August, telling him he needed to take a plea deal, like, I don't know.
Right. Before September even, they had talked to him about that. And
Yeah,
we're going to go over that tomorrow.
Not even 2 weeks after the murders, they were talking plea deals. So
I want to let chat know, too, if you guys aren't familiar with Kelly. Kelly is a friend of the Watts family, Casey, a.k.a. KC.
yes.
Um,
And I want to say this, like, before we go further, like, I just need to get this out.
go ahead.
I have only wanted to advocate for my friend and her family. I mean, the moment that I ever thought that I was causing harm, I left.
When it got to be too much, you mean like with social media and YouTube and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I've told you this before when we've talked privately, like there's no manual that comes with a situation like this. So like, how does anyone know what to do? You have all these people attacking this family that are not bad people. And you're just coming out the gate saying, look, no, this is not, you have it wrong. Like your perception of these people is not what you're thinking. And I think that's a natural reaction. There's just so many dynamics from all the different people and the angles in something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It comes across like crass, but I saw what you were doing. And I think
you met me,
would.
So we spent time together. It wasn't like my friendship with you is a friendship with you, not
Outside
because
of this, yeah.
do this. It's because, we've actually met and we've connected, like,
Right, on a different level. And
right.
meeting Ronnie, though, too, really gave me insight into their family dynamics. And
Right.
it not only explained a lot about Chris, because I think he's a lot like his dad, but it just showed me that they
A
really
lot
are
like,
just
but nothing like at the same time, apparently.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot like, but nothing like. Yeah, it's the weird situation. But just seeing how just normal and just genuine, real they are. They don't mean anybody any harm, and I saw that right off the bat because I thought, oh my God, this man is gonna like judge me because I judged his wife. I made that video about Cindy, and I was really nervous about meeting him. And you and him came to the door, and I was like thinking, what do I say to him? Like, do I apologize? And he gave me a hug. He didn't even say anything. And I was like, wow, I don't even have to say a word. Like, he doesn't hold that against me. And I think that says a lot about him and everything they've been through, because they've been used and they've been scorned and they've been trolled and everything else. So for him to just be open like that said a lot to me.
Yeah. But anyways, back to business. I just wanted to make that apparent because I'm not on here for attention. I'm here because I want to help. You know what I mean? Like, I really do want to help. And if at any time I'm not helping, I'm out.
Yeah, well, things did get heavy. I mean, it wasn't just you. It was everything. It was everything. But I mean, if you could give advice to, somebody else coming into a situation like this, like with their best friend being in the middle of this, I'm sure you'd have a lot of advice.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like, not talk to people you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Rule number 1, if you haven't seen their face, don't talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, don't tell them personal stuff. It's been so twisted and used against them, and people know that Chris is like so easy to get to, that all these people writing and then reporting it back, and it's just been a mess all around.
Yeah. And I think we all know at this point, like, we can't take what Chris says as truth. So
right. I think there's bits and pieces of truth scattered throughout.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But isn't that what people who lie do? They always start with the truth.
Yeah.
It's how they keep their lies straight as well. Bits of truth in there so they can remember what they've been saying.
Truth in there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's listen to Troy, and then I'll be periodically stopping it. And Kelly, if you want to stay on, and let's watch it and talk.
Okay.
It's up to you.
As long as someone doesn't call me inside to go get something.
Yeah, you're fine. If you have to mute, just go ahead.
Okay.
So that's why I was telling you the other day, I thought I arrived on location about 8 to 9. So in that ballpark.
So if you got that phone call at 7:40, how long did you guys talk? You remember?
Yeah, it was 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because he asked me where I was at, and I told him I pulled over to take his phone call at the Hell Got Theirs, and then he told me he was at the Cervi at 319, and I said I'll be out there in a minute because Chad was going to have me come out to that 1029 anyway.
Okay.
So I told him I'd head to that 319.
Okay. Was Chris scheduled to go to 319 that morning?
He told me on Friday, whenever we spoke with Cody, because he was right there, because I took the call on Bluetooth because I was parked in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he found out about the leak, he said, I'll go out and look at that thing first thing Monday morning.
Chris said he was going to go out first thing Monday morning.
First thing Monday morning.
And take a look at the 319.
Yes, sir. To try to verify that, whether or not that line was leaking or not. And I believe he called Cody, and when I talked to Cody, he called Cody on Friday or Sunday at 5 p.m. and told him that he was going to head out to Cervi first thing Monday morning.
Does this play music through the whole thing?
Sounds like
it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, thank
That was
God.
the music.
I was like, why is it playing music? Okay.
Is it MCCOY?
This is actually the very beginning.
What's your date of birth, Troy?
3/26/1985.
85. What's your home address?
It's the Avenue somethings.
They need to rename their streets there, sounds like.
It actually
What's the
makes
zip up
sense.
there?
80634.
80634. All right. And that number I called you on, is that a work phone?
Yes, sir, it
Do you have
is.
a personal phone?
Yeah. I don't remember it since me and my
That's
wife
fine.
changed it.
That's no
Because
problem.
we're from Kansas, so
Oh, you are?
I had that one memorized.
Where are you from, Kansas?
Elkhart,
I don't know
far
where that
southwest
was.
corner.
Okay.
My number is 970-238-0358.
Call them for a good time, guys.
All right. How recent is that?
Love how they redacted their stuff.
This number?
Yeah.
I mean,
know.
I think we've had it for
Change your numbers.
8 months or so.
Oh, for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't remember. I can't remember my work phone number.
Yeah, no problem.
I have to have it written down in my pickup so I can give it to people that call me.
Right. So, okay, so let's cover some timeline stuff here.
Yes, sir.
So let's start with on Sunday. So Sunday would be the 12th.
Yes.
Did you talk to
No,
Chris
sir.
at all on the
I didn't
12th?
speak to him over the weekend. I seen him on Friday.
Seen him on Friday. So that was the last time you saw him before the
Monday.
work week.
Yes.
Okay.
I seen him on Friday, and he'd taken off Friday to take Shanann to the airport for Phoenix.
Okay.
And then he told me he wanted me to look at his Fire Stick that he bought. I said, okay. So
Oh, a TV Fire Stick?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Amazon Fire Stick.
Sure.
So before the workday ended on Friday, he's told me that he'd meet me at the Safeway parking lot there in Fort Lupton. And he showed up in their Lexus, and Bella and CC were in the back seat. So he jumped out, gave me the Fire Stick, and right after he gave me the Fire Stick, that's whenever Cody called. Cody Roberts, the operator of the Cervi 319, and said that he thought there was a leak in the bypass line.
And that's on 319, you said?
Yes, the Cervi 319.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because that bypass line is now locked and tagged out because we done that Monday morning.
Dude,
Okay.
wait a second. He talks really fast. Did you understand anything he just said?
Mm-mm.
Am I the only one, Potato? Because I didn't.
No, you're not the only one.
Oh, okay.
And then he told me he wanted me to look
Is
at
it
his
too
Fire
slow?
Stick
Because
that he bought.
I can't adjust it, but I want to hear what he's saying.
I said, okay. So
Oh, a TV Fire Stick?
yeah, the
Okay.
Amazon Fire Stick.
Sure.
Sounds fine.
So before the workday ended on Friday, he's told me that he'd meet me at the Safeway parking lot there in Fort Lupton. And he showed up in their Lexus, and Bella and CC were in the back seat. So he jumped out, gave me the Fire Stick, and right after he gave me the Fire Stick, that's whenever Cody called. Cody Roberts, the operator of the Cervi 319, and said that he thought there was a leak in the bypass line.
And that's on 319, you said?
Yes, the Cervi 319.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because that bypass line is now locked and tagged out because we done that Monday morning.
Okay. Oh,
I know, what's with this fire stick?
No. Strange.
okay, so Bella,
Bill and CC, or Celeste.
CC,
Yeah.
CC were in the back seat
Yes, sir.
and was Shanann?
No, sir.
Was she
He'd
in the
already
front
taken
seat?
her to the airport.
You already took her there.
Yes.
Do you remember about what time this was?
I look back through my text messages I gave you
Yeah, no worries.
because he told me he was sitting by the 5.0. There was an orange Mustang sitting in the parking lot.
Okay.
And I think it was one of the ladies that well, it looked just like the one I used to have
Okay.
because I had it red when I was telling you about that earlier.
Yeah.
So, and he's a huge Ford guy because he was a master mechanic.
Wait,
Yeah, I
what did he
remember
say about Mustang?
Something about that.
Sorry.
No problem.
Chris Watts. Okay. Okay, thanks. Forward you the link. You just sent it there. Okay, right here. It's at 3:05.
Okay.
Is whenever he sent me the text message. Here, parked next to the orange 5.0.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so this is going to come up later, I think, in this interview. Chris was parked next to an orange Mustang. And something comes up later, so just keep that in the back of your head about somebody in this orange Mustang.
He's driving the white Lexus.
Yes, sir. And Bill and Cece were both in the back. They were buckled up in their car seat. And he had pulled forward in the parking spot, and I pulled back here. And he was talking to me for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 minutes, and you could hear him hollering in there. So he got back in the Lexus, and he backed it up so they could see me. And they waved at me and everything like that.
Okay. All right. And so you have no text conversation, no phone conversation, nothing like that over the weekend, Saturday and
No,
Sunday.
sir. Nothing.
Okay. So Monday morning,
Okay.
what time do you leave to go to work?
I usually leave my house about 6 o'clock.
Okay. Is
I'm
that
supposed to be here about 6:30.
here at the office?
Yes.
So did you come straight to the office on,
Yes, sir, I did.
on Monday morning?
Yeah.
So 8:13.
Yeah, and I received a phone call from him Monday morning, but I couldn't answer it while I was driving. So you can see in here, it's phone call declined.
Okay. But do you have the time
Yes,
on
sir,
that
I'll
one?
get the timestamp for you. That's what I'm looking for. Chad McNeil. Oh, that's Friday. Monday. Chris Watts, right here, he called me.
It's the same with time.
See, and call canceled because I was driving, because I
Okay.
can't accept that.
Yeah.
And that's 6:43 a.m.
So so incoming from Chris.
At 6:43.
So they're starting from.
I have a partial put in.
They're starting from the Friday before when she left for Arizona, just to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
They're way back on Friday with the Fire Stick.
Half ago.
I thought it was interesting as well that he said normally he'll leave his house at 6 and he'd normally get to the office at 6:30. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's what he did on that Monday morning. He didn't say, I did leave at this time.
No, he said, I normally do.
Normally. Mm-hmm.
Freaking dry mouth. Thing.
Okay, so incoming, but you declined it because it's on
Yes,
your
sir,
work phone and it tracks all that.
Well, my work phone is set up through my Bluetooth in my phone or my truck.
Okay.
And with that geotab, you can tell when
It's gonna
you take
tell.
a call.
Okay.
Whenever you're driving.
And you're gonna get busted for that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
You would
Okay.
get slapped.
Okay.
Yeah, because they came down from Keith Nosich, and he's pretty high up in the company.
All right.
He said that we can't use them anymore.
Okay.
So,
That's when you're driving out to the site,
no, sir, that's when I was driving to work.
driving to work.
6:43.
So apparently you'd gotten to work a little bit after
Yeah,
6:45.
I would have been running behind that day then.
Okay. Do you remember about what time you got here?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Can we check you guys can run my geotab if that helps, whatever you guys need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, no problem. Might need that.
Yeah. No.
That's the important stuff.
So they must be at
Yeah, right.
Anadarko doing this. Because he said, what time did you get here?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Thanks.
Okay.
And I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't there at 6:30 if he rejected a call at 6:43 because he was
Right.
driving.
So you come in the office between 6:45 and 7. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that would be fair.
Okay.
Because I always try to hit up the burrito guy that comes at 7:30.
Okay.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. So did you get a burrito that morning?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
Oh, he's
And
probably the one
he's
that
here by
pooped.
7:30.
Yes. Usually
Burrito
about
for breakfast.
7:30, just a little bit.
Okay.
What a way to set up your day.
He definitely is the one that pooped.
So when you come to the office, what's your routine?
When I come to the office, I always park on the north side of the parking lot down here where my truck is now. And I walk through those doors. I come directly in the doors, and then I go into the break room. because that break room to the south or the north end of the office is where all of our guys sit. The whole team's there usually. And then Luke's office is right down the way, so I just always park on the north end.
Okay. So you come in, do you get like your assignments for the day to check on?
Well, I come
whether
in,
you go
I pull up my computer,
Okay.
my work laptop.
We come in,
check
we all
Signet,
get
whatever.
BJ's from NK, and then we go on about our day.
Whatever, the case is.
Or
Usually
Heidi.
Since I'm a lead,
Yeah.
field coordinator, I go in and I talk with Luke and or talk with Chad because Chad's also a field coordinator.
That's Chad McNeil.
Yes, sir.
So when you come in and check with those guys, what do you establish your route for the day or your routine for the day?
The
or
topics for the day. I mean,
Okay.
whatever a gentleman needs. I sent out an email last week on Friday night telling them that we need to start checking plungers in our wells because they're supposed to be checked quarterly, would be what Anadarko is supposed to require. So a lot of our new guys do not feel comfortable with that procedure. So, I just talked to them, see if they need help anywhere, what was going on for that day. And Chad told me that we were going to start the Cervi 1029, which is a pumping unit.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd like to have me out there that day. And we was going to test that back pressure line on the 319 to verify that there was a leak.
On 319, check what?
Verify if there's a leak on the back pressure line.
On the back pressure?
Yes, the same one that Cody called me about on Friday, sir. When I told you I spoke to Cody whenever I talked to Chris.
Yeah, okay. That's what he mentioned, the stain on the ground, is
Yes,
that correct?
Sir. Yeah, the stain on the ground.
Yep. Okay, so there was a problem with the 319.
Okay.
Having a leak, is that correct?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
Yeah, in the bypass line, we were able to verify that.
So the back pressure in the bypass line?
Well, I think they're one and the same. I don't know which one it is. It's the one that goes up on the top bill of the tank. Verify it, because that Cervi setup kind of weird because it's all older stuff.
Mm.
But we have logged and tagged there. It's the first line as you're walking to the stairs. Right over on your right-hand side is that first line because that's where the staining was. And it's at the elbow underneath the ground is where I think the thread's washed out.
Okay.
So there was oil bubbling up from there, and that's what caused the stain.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, what time do you leave here on Monday? Approximate.
Approximately. Burrito guy comes at 7:30. Might have talked to the guys for like another 10 minutes. So probably 7:40. I was on the road.
Okay.
Ish.
It's probably, so we call it 7:45 on the road.
Yeah, I would say so, sir.
Okay. So do you remember that day where you headed first?
My first location was going to be to head out to Cervi.
So, well, okay.
The
Do
Cervi
you remember
319.
the 319 or the 1029?
No, it was the 319 because they were testing that bypass line because I had the call from Chris here. Let me verify. That was at 6:43 when I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked to Chad McNeil. And then after that, I talked to Chris again at 7:40 a.m. incoming call.
Okay, so let's think about these times. We have 6:45, right? Or 6:40, he talked to Chris.
6:43 was the incoming call that he rejected because he was driving.
Okay, so we know that Chris was at Cervi at that time.
Yeah, he apparently got there about the same time, yeah.
So Chris gets there and is calling Troy and then calls him again an hour later.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure I've got this straight.
Yep.
And Troy is set to go out there. So he's going to the office and then he's going to come out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris is wondering, when are you guys coming? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Because I just left the office.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I just said, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
So 7:40 a.m. You got was it another call from Chris?
Yeah, it was another call from Chris. So by
Okay.
7:40, whenever I pulled over to take this phone call, I believe I was at the intersection of Old County Road 37 and I think it's 18 right there where the Hell Got Theirs is.
So 37 and 18.
Yes. I had to pull over to the side of the road and park right because they're building a new construction there.
Okay.
The Gracie horizontals are going in, so the Hell Got Theirs is the old location that held that lease. So I just
Dude,
pulled off
why
the road
is he
right there to be
giving?
able to take
Okay.
the call.
How far is that from here?
Why is he giving so many details that are unneeded?
Well, you know what they say about unnecessary details.
Yeah, he's very wordy. I'm going to put on captions.
How far is that from the office?
Yeah. I'm sorry. How far where you took that call? How far is that from here?
From the 319?
No, from here.
From the office?
From the office, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, you just go right down to 22, you turn on 22, so I'd say about maybe 10 minutes. So maybe I left right after the burrito.
Okay.
So,
He left after the burrito? Is that what he said?
I mean, we can pull up my geotab, guys. That way I'm not, you know, over the timeline.
So what do you and Chris talk about?
What's going on in the field? Because he told me he was at the Cervi 319 and that he was going to test the bypass line. I said,
Okay.
okay, I'll be out there in just a minute to be able to help you. But, I mean, of course, I'm at County Road 52 and 37. So that's going to take me a while to get out to Cervi.
How long would it take you to get to Cervi 319 from where you stopped to take this phone call?
From where I stopped to take the phone call, we got to get back on County Road 52, head all the way to Hudson, then we jump on I-76, just like Luke took you guys out to Cervi. So probably about another 40 minutes to be able to get there from with drive time.
Okay.
So that's why I was telling you the other day, I thought I arrived on location about 8:30
Okay.
to 9,
So
somewhere in that ballpark.
So if you got that phone call at 7:40, how long did you guys talk? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was
Does it
2
say?
minutes.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because he asked me where I was at, and I told him I pulled over to take his phone call at the Hell Got Theirs. And then he told me he was at the Cervi 319, and I said, I'll be out there in a minute, because Chad was going to have you come out at 10:29 anyway.
Okay.
So I told him I'd head to that 319.
Okay. Was Chris scheduled to go to 319 that morning?
He told me on Friday, whenever we spoke with Cody, because he was right there, because I took the call on Bluetooth because I was parked in that parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he found out about the leak, he said, I'll go out and look at that thing first thing Monday morning.
Chris said he was going to go out first thing Monday morning.
First thing Monday morning.
And take a look at the 319.
Yes, sir. To try to verify that whether or not that line was leaking or not. And I believe he called Cody, and when I talked to Cody, he called Cody on Friday or Sunday at 5 p.m. and told him that he was going to head out to Cervi first thing Monday morning.
Okay. So the fact that he was there already and calling you about the 319 was no surprise.
No, he was just, telling me that, yeah, he was out on location and everything. I said, okay, I'll be out there in a little bit. That was it.
All right. And so it took you approximately 40 minutes to drive out there.
Yeah,
So we're probably, 8:40, 8:30, somewhere in that range?
8:30, 8:40.
Okay.
Okay, so he got there.
So when you get out there, who's out there when you?
So literally, Chris would have had 2 hours because Troy was one of the first ones there, right? Or were the other ladies still there?
I thought others came out earlier because I thought he only had like 30 to 45 minutes there by himself.
Is that when the 3 people came out together?
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Okay.
If I can find it in my notes.
Because it seems to me that she texted him about the battery thing at 8 something. Like he was on his phone a lot at the same time when Troy got there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. 6:45 he got there. And then other people turned up around 7:15 to 7:30. So who showed up first then? But then
it must have been the 2 girls, and then that other. There was like a group of 3 that all pulled up in separate vehicles at the same time.
But then this was in the bit of Discovery that had all like weird times and stuff, so they might not even be accurate.
Oh,
I don't know.
I want to say
45 minutes. What, Cal? Kelly? I didn't hear what she said. Did you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think it was after 8 when they showed up. But gosh, I have Discovery in front of me and I don't have notes.
Maybe it was wrong. Well, we were looking at Discovery last night and they had the times wrong. So they had like
I think
5:45 instead of 6:45 when Chris got there. So it's all effed up.
Yeah, I think we'd been over that, but I think it was still less than 2 hours.
I mean, even if it was an hour, that's a lot to do in that amount of time and then not be sweaty, not be out of breath, not be, nervous.
Yeah, to be calm after all of that when everyone's turning up. Like no one noticed anything different. He just seemed normal. Strange.
Yeah, they didn't suspect a thing.
Mm-mm.
The only thing that they said was like one of his pant legs was tucked into his boot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's right. So were there 2 sets of boots?
Yes, there was a new pair and an old pair, and he apparently had worn his old pair that morning.
So they were accounted for?
Yeah, that goes into the second interview with Troy. He talks about his boots.
Mm.
And that was after he went to Anadarko with them. So the timeline is they have this interview now. Then after that, the police have him meet them out at Anadarko. They have a meeting there that I don't believe was recorded, or if it was, it wasn't in the Discovery. And then there's a second interview.
I didn't know there was a second interview.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
See, this is such a mess.
How can they do an interview and not record it? Or have
Well,
any
if it
record of
was a
it?
walkthrough, I don't know.
I'm going to look, while we're watching this, I'm going to look into the Discovery and see if maybe it's in text in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but listen to like room. Like earlier, it sounded like someone came in and brought something into the room.
Yeah, they did.
So it doesn't sound like they're outside. It sounds like they are in a room.
Yeah, they're definitely in a room because someone knocked.
Right.
Out of on location. Chris is parked by the wellheads,
Okay.
or the one wellhead of that location.
Yep.
Then we have Chad McNeil.
When you say he's parked by
it
the
was Chad
wellhead,
and those
where
girls.
is he?
Okay.
Like here,
You guys have a picture of location?
Actually, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can show you exactly where his truck was parked, because his truck was parked where the headlights were facing toward the wellhead. His truck was parked right here.
And
And his headlights,
draw his car on there for me.
You want me to try to draw a car?
That is just a box.
Okay, a box. I'm like, I didn't know I was gonna be testing on my drawing.
Yeah, right.
skills.
So which way is he facing?
The headlights of the pickup are facing toward the wellhead.
Okay, so let's see. So if I do this, Does it say that his truck is pointed that way?
Yeah, well, more of an angle where it's pointed directly at the wellhead.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's exactly, it was pointed, his headlights were pointed directly at the wellhead.
Okay. All right. And
Okay, I
who else?
hate to pause, but I want to read what I just found into the discovery. It says on Friday, August 17th, 2018. You're right, Kelly. I re-interviewed Troy McCoy at Anadarko Petroleum Headquarters. And then it says action taken. On Friday, August 17th, 2018, FBI Special Agent Philip Jones and I contacted Troy McCoy and asked him if he would be willing to speak to us again about his relationship with Chris Watts and any other information he had about this case.
And
The
he sounds
frickin'
like a totally different
FBI.
person in the second interview.
The FBI talked to him. They asked Luke Eppel, who Chris was closest to at work, and he indicated it would be Troy McCoy. Troy McCoy bought Thrive.
Yeah, I read something about that. His wife
Yep.
is involved with Thrive.
Yep. One person at his work, only one person at work buys the Thrive, and it's Troy. He and McCoy are both field supervisors for Anadarko. He and McCoy have hung out a few times outside of work with their families. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so the ones that were at Cervi were Troy, Chris, Cody Roberts, Melissa, Chad McNeil. And that's it. Melissa Parrish, Chad McNeil. I'm just seeing if there's anything else in here about Troy. Nope. Nope, there's nothing else. All right, let's keep going.
I just wanted to say something about the way he
Yeah.
was parked as well. He said that his headlights were facing the wellhead. So that would
Right.
mean that the back of his truck was facing into the field, which makes me think that maybe Shanann was in the back of the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Who has a snake in their yard?
Snake.
Do you hear Kelly's snake?
Yeah, I could hear it.
It's the cicadas. My bad.
Oh, it sounds like a snake. It sounds like you're outside and it's like...
I am outside. It's the cicadas.
I love it. That's so Kelly.
I have to be outside. I need to go hug a tree and put my feet in the grass.
Also,
We're going to need footprints after that, ma'am.
I will
There's
gladly.
Melissa,
I have nothing to hide.
Parrish, and Chad McNeil.
where are they?
They are parked right here on location, sir.
Just on the other side of
Yes,
the
with their
wellhead there.
trucks facing.
Kind of where we're parked here.
Yeah, their trucks are facing toward the exit. Like
Okay.
they pulled in and kind of circled and parked right here. And I parked right over here.
Okay.
Are those typical spots to park?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I was just pulling up so we're not in any way because we're supposed to pull up where you don't have to.
So what are you
back
saying,
or
Potato,
anything
that
like
his truck was facing...
Facing the wellhead. So the back of his truck's facing the field, and that's where Shanann was buried, right?
So he kind of pulled the back of the truck up right to the edge there.
Mm-hmm. Which makes
I
sense if
see.
she was in the back, and then he could easily get her out. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't believe she was in the back seat.
no, I don't either, because I don't understand how he would get her in there by himself.
And the
without
dog.
Yeah.
being
Yeah, and it seems like we would have noticed some kind of, struggle
Yeah.
doing it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be gross, but if the body wasn't in rigor, then it's going to be like, I mean, you're not going to you're going to have dangling arms and legs, and it's not going to be easy to slide someone across floorboards.
And you would think if he did slide her through, he'd have to go to the other side of the truck and pull her through. So that would be seen on the other side.
Yeah, it would have taken.
Obviously, didn't happen.
No, it would have taken a lot of work to get her. Yeah. Nope.
It just makes more sense that she was in the back.
And that's why you couldn't see the ass end of the tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
Because he pulled it down and slid, just like that Red X Crime Files, that thing they did, that graphic thing, where it showed, I mean, it was graphic to look at, but I think that's how it went.
Yeah, well, and also so rigor mortis sets in between 2 and 4 hours, I think. And if something happened between, say, 2:00 in the morning and the time he left at 5, by the time he got there, the way she was found, rigor mortis had to have already set in.
But do you think it happened that early, or do you think it happened later, like around 4 when he says he got up?
But still, that's still 2 hours before he got to the Cervi.
True.
But
I mean, he had a
how's he
45-minute drive.
If she was laying in the back of the floorboard of his truck, then she would have been like a plank. How did he get
Or
her?
if she was in the fetal, no, not if she was in the fetal position. And I'm not trying to be gross,
She
but
would.
he could have.
A woman in a fetal position, board in between his back seat of his front.
No,
in
I'm
the
talking
back
about
seat.
in the back. In the
yeah, that's more. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like Potato when she said, like if she was in the back of the truck.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's any way she was in the floorboards or on the floorboards.
Not at all. But also with rigor as well, though, like it sets in at around 2 hours, but it's in the extremities, so like fingers and stuff, and then it goes to the bigger parts.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have been in full rigor. Like, partially.
Well, I mean, not to be gross, but if she was put in the bed in the fetal, like, like let's say he had her in a sheet and he slid the sheet in the truck in the bed and then kind of pushed the legs up and then shut the tailgate so her knees would be up to her chest. And then if he drove 45 minutes, could she have been in that position when he got there is what I'm saying. Like, if she was like crunched up in the bed of the truck, was she crunched up in rigor? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like put in that shallow hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we know he took the sheet and just kind of, rolled her in the hole. Maybe she was in that position in rigor and he just kind of went with it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't see him like shoving her legs underneath her when he put her in the hole, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't see him touching her in the hole. I think that's why he used the sheet and rolled her in and then covered her the best he could. And he was probably so frantic. That's why the sheet was left behind.
Well, he said it blew away, didn't it?
Yeah,
and
which
he
I don't
obviously
believe.
didn't go and
Look at all
find
those
it.
weeds. How can a sheet blow in all those weeds? Unless it's like a windstorm. And it wasn't.
How far away from the grave is that sheet, though?
Well, they said she was 100 feet. So I don't know where that is in proximity to the actual grave. But I mean, those things are pretty tall. All those weeds, like ragweed or whatever that stuff is. That stuff is pretty tall. You can't really tell from this angle. But it's almost like mini bushes, like they're twigs in there. They're not just like grass. So like for a sheet to blow, that's why I never understood toys blowing away. Toys aren't going to blow in the wind, like unless you have a tornado,
Yeah, no way.
So I think that was maybe thrown to the side or something and obviously was forgotten. And how crazy is it that ultimately as they droned over his last location and they see the sheet.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone threw the sheet out there. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, I know when there's no perfect crime, and I know Chris isn't like a skilled criminal, but it just seems so sloppy. I mean, all the blankets that are missing, there's no blankets, right, Kelly? Like, all these blankets are nowhere to be found, but there's the sheet that implicates Chris. laying right there. It's just weird.
But then
Not
he ran
one
out of
toy.
time as well. So maybe he couldn't go back and get the sheet because then it would have looked suspicious.
Yeah.
If people were turning up, there's a sheet out there. He couldn't just go walk into the field and pick it up. People would be like, why is your sheet out?
What if Shanann came home and went to check and the girls weren't there?
Yeah, I've thought that. That
Yeah,
maybe
I
they
Have
as
you?
well.
What have you
Yeah,
thought,
maybe.
Kelly? Like what was your theory when you thought that?
I just thought that, if there's other people involved, then what if someone took the girls for a fun sleepover or something? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
To keep them distracted.
Well,
And
I
out
go
of the
back.
Or even if it was just the simple fact that, it wasn't planned and Chris just thought he needed to be alone with Shanann when she got home to let him know he was done with the marriage or whatever. I don't know. But then again, why would he pack the bags? Why would he pack the bags and leave them by the front door for the girls for school the next day? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Makes
I
me
know
throw
none
up.
of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. But, and then I go back to him remembering that NK came to the house Sunday night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, after they had this 111-minute phone call, which we all know was probably the ultimatum. It was down to the wire. Shanann's coming home for good. What's it going to be? And then she comes over. That's what I want to know. What happened after she came over? Did she leave? Did she leave with the girls?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did she go in the basement?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very
God, it's
possible. I think
just-
she was in the basement when she got home. That's what my gut tells me now. After all this time, that's what my gut tells me, that she was there. Just because you think about how the dogs went crazy downstairs, and what if maybe
Yes.
Chris was still sleeping downstairs and didn't want to go upstairs and sleep upstairs because apparently, she made a point of saying that he was sleeping downstairs and the bed looked like it had been slept in
Yep.
when the police showed up. So what if, she was sitting downstairs and I don't know.
You know
I
what's
don't know.
weird? When we were there, when we went to Denver,
Yeah.
there was a purple eye mask. Purple satin eye mask on that bed in the basement. And I was like, how creepy weird is that?
Well, and I thought too, maybe, if Shanann did come home and the girls weren't there and she went downstairs to check and see if Chris had the
Like
girls
what was
downstairs
going
with
on?
him,
Yeah.
they woke up or, and he just took them with him or whatever. I didn't mean to say them. That was just
But
a
then
total
you have
slip.
the story of Bella waking up. And then, it's like we have that story of Bella waking up and then it happening at the house. And then we fast forward to the Wisconsin
It happening
confession.
at the site,
And then we have it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have it happening at the site with the kids.
But nothing lines up with that second confession. Nothing.
No, it doesn't.
Like, it's just a continuation of a lie
Yeah.
that he's trying to get out of. He's digging himself in further.
Well, they wanted to solidify that confession, that plea. They wanted to make the plea match his confession because it didn't.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep listening to Troy. I could talk all night about this, and it takes you from one thing to the next.
Yep.
So I usually try to pull around or pull back far enough where I know that if there's a truck parked over here, I can pull around and get away, so I have to have anybody move their vehicles or back up, because if they back up, then that sends designation.
Okay. It was that a usual place for somebody to park where Chris parked?
Now that I think about it, it is unusual.
Why do you say that?
Well, if you're going to test the bypass line, to me, it would make
Where is
more
that
sense.
bypass line?
Okay, the bypass line is coming off your separator, or I thought that, if I'm not mistaken, sir, I think the bypass line and the back pressure line are tied in, one and the same.
Okay.
And the back pressure line comes off from the front of the doghouse on the separator. And then the back pressure line is back here by the flow line, where it comes in at the header of the separator, where the gas and the oil enter the separator.
Okay.
And those lines run directly underneath and then come right back over here to the edge of the tank, where both of those lines come up and on top of the tank.
And that leak was in here, correct?
Yes, sir. It
Okay.
was right there by the stairs, right as you go up the catwalk. So to me, I'm lazy. If I pull up on location, I would pull up over in here somewhere. I would have took this circle right here and stopped right here in order to be closer to the separator and everything to be able to test that bypass line.
Okay. So by him parking here, he kind of blocks this.
Yeah,
access.
Nobody could circle around the wellhead.
Okay. Is it normal for somebody to park in that fashion?
No.
Okay, this is another thing that's interesting. I hate to keep pausing because we're not even a quarter of the way through, but okay. So when Troy McCoy went back the next day on Tuesday looking for his wrench, they noted that he parked in the vicinity where Shanann was found. Okay. He didn't park. He's telling this guy right here, oh, this is where you're supposed to park. This is supposed to park. Da, 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 da. Well, the guy who was pumping that got his name that day, I mean, really took notice of him because he said, no one ever parks there. No one ever parks like that. And then they noted in the discovery that he was parked near where Shanann was found, looking for his wrench from the previous day. Make it make sense, people.
His wrench should be nowhere where Shanann was.
Exactly. What was this mofo looking for? The sheet?
Yeah.
Good Lord above.
Well, I mean, now that I think what's all's happened, no. But, I mean, at first, it didn't even, flag anything for me. But that's where his truck was parked.
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, no. If you're going to go out there and test the bypass line and that's all you had to do, then I would have parked over here to be able to be closer to this and this.
Okay. Plus, I would imagine you have to get some tools out of your truck.
Yeah, crescent wrench, whatever.
Do whatever.
You gotta do to be able
Crescent
to
wrench.
pressure up the vessel.
Okay.
What tools did he have out?
Whenever I got there, everybody carries a crescent wrench in their back pocket. Whenever I arrived on location, he used his shovel.
Here, notice
Dig out
this. Notice this. He knows they know that story. He knows that they know he told that guy that he was looking for the wrench. So he's really making a mention of everybody has a crescent wrench in their back pocket. What a douchebag. And by the way, Pee Wee Herman, I think, just joined the interview in the background. Did you hear him?
No.
Hole.
You
right
will.
there at the bypass
Two guys
line.
there now.
And then whenever I got, they'd already verified that the bypass line or back pressure line, whichever one it is, failed, and that it was leaking underneath ground because you could see like a little bitty puddle right there. And Chad McNeil, when he got his lockout tag out, he put it on the bypass line, and I think they did the bypass line at the separator to make sure it was locked out in both directions so pressure couldn't get in there and feed any more up so we wouldn't have any further contamination. And then after that, Chad and Melissa, they pulled away since I parked over here with Chris, and Chris had went back to his truck to check his phone. So I grabbed a shovel from right here and I walked it back over to his pickup and handed it to him.
What?
And he said, no, there's still since that stain's still there and the dirt's already stained, we're going to put that back in there. So then he filled back in the hole, and then he came back over to the pickup. And then after that, he left first because I told him I grabbed the gate.
Oh, hell
So he got
no.
out of here, went through.
So these two were by themselves? Melissa, Chad left. And it was just him and Chris, and he was parked by Chris. And he's talking about handing him a shovel and Chris filling in a hole? What?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Am I hearing this right? They were by themselves. Nobody else.
I think so.
There's the sheet. You see the sheet?
Mm-hmm. It's quite far away from the grave.
Is this the grave here?
Yeah.
Why would it be way over here?
Do not know.
So they were parked right here.
Yeah.
See where it's all?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it here?
Don't think he specified.
I pictured it over here.
That's what I would think it was.
Facing this way.
Because there's a gap
Headlights.
between like the bush as well. Straight to the grave.
Yeah, right here. Like I picture the back of the pickup right here.
Yeah.
But he's talking about handing Chris a shovel and what?
I've heard this before, and I don't ever remember hearing that he was with him.
I know.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so I am going to rewind just like 15 seconds and listen to that again. Because it says here that Chad is the one that put the lockout tag out. And it says that there was a leak underground and it was coming up and there was a little puddle. Mm-hmm. So that little wet spot was an underground leak. Okay, let's listen again.
Everybody carries a crescent wrench in their back pocket. Whenever I arrived on location, he used his shovel to dig out the hole right there at the bypass line.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever I got there, they'd already verified that the bypass line or back pressure line, whichever one it is, failed. And that it was leaking underneath the ground because you could see like a little bitty puddle right there. And Chad McNeil, when he got his lockout tag out, he put it on the bypass line, and I think they did the bypass line at the separator to make sure it was locked out in both directions, so pressure couldn't get in there and feed any more up, so we wouldn't have any further contamination. And then after that, Chad and Melissa, they pulled away since I parked over here with Chris, and Chris had went back to his truck to check his phone. So I grabbed a shovel from right here and I walked it back over to his pickup and handed it to him. And he said, no, there's still since that stain's still there and the dirt's already stained, we're going to put that back in there. So then he filled back in the hole and then he came back over to the pickup. And then after that, he left first because I told him I grabbed the gate. So he got out of here, went through, and then I followed behind him.
He was the last one there. He was the last one at Cervi. Oh my God.
Yeah. I can't imagine why Chris would want to leave him out there by himself knowing what he's left there. That seems crazy to me.
Dude. Did he forget the sheet?
Oh God. So
seriously. Wild. Did he forget the freaking sheet? Oh, I'll get the gate, Chris. I got this. What is this all about? No, this makes no sense. Oh my God. All right.
Interviewed him again, apparently.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I closed the gate behind me.
Okay. So when you get there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, let me back up.
Yeah, whatever you need.
So you get there, Chris is parked here.
Yes, sir.
And say, who else was there already?
Chad McNeil.
Chad
already on location, and
Okay, so
Melissa Parrish. They were already there
Chad
before me.
and Melissa.
He's like, I need to talk to Chad and
both
Melissa
on
and see what
scene.
these motherfuckers were up to.
As
Because Cody Roberts was over at the 1029. Cody was already at a Cervi, but he was at the 1029 because he was going to start that pumping unit.
He said he was already out Cervi, just like generic ranch or at this site.
Well, no, not at this site. Cervi Ranch is, the way we speak upon it, is consistent of those 7 sites at Cervi. And the 1029, if you enter the gate from the south, which I'm sure you guys did when you went out there.
Oh my God, he's so
that's the
wordy.
only
I want to
entrance
punch
that
him.
They are supposed to allow us to go through. As you go up, instead of curving back to go to the 319, you continue to go straight. There's like a little riverbed right there that you cross over and go back into, and that's where the pumping unit is.
okay. All right, so you get on scene. Chad and Melissa are already there.
Yes, sir.
And Chris.
Yes.
Anybody else?
No.
Okay. Do you see what Chad and Melissa are doing
They were just over there by the bypass line.
over here?
Yes.
Over here?
Yeah, over there by the bypass line.
Okay, were all 3 of
They
them
were
over here?
confirming that. Yes. Whenever I pulled up on location, all 3 of them were over there.
Okay. Anything seem unusual?
No.
Just out of the ordinary?
No. Well, as soon as I pulled up, and I talked to Chad McNeil about this because he remembered me making a comment that I didn't even remember. As soon as I walked out on location, I got out of my truck, and Chris is usually fairly decently dressed man. He's always got on pretty tight fitting FRs, like really, like really airy out pants.
What's FR?
Fire resistant.
Fire resistant clothing. He usually wears that. He was wearing a
Is he attracted to him or something? He usually wears pretty tight fitting.
blue shirt that was baggy. Looked like he'd had like an older shirt for him.
So it wasn't a fire resistant shirt?
It was.
It was.
It was a fire resistant shirt, but different companies make different styles of t-shirts. And this is not something that, I was used to seeing him in. It was kind of a baggy t-shirt.
Okay.
And then he had a pair of pull-on boots. And from every time that I can remember out in the field, he had an old pair of boots that he was lace up, so the toe was about to come off of. And then here about 3 weeks ago, he bought a brand new pair of Red Wing boots down at the FR store here in Platteville, and he always wore those. So when I seen him, on those, I was like, "What, you slumming it today, bud?" And he laughed, and that was it. That was all that it was. But I didn't notice that it was, out of the ordinary. I just figured, okay, well, if he didn't get a lot of sleep last night, he was in a rush, he just grabbed what he had and went out to location.
Okay.
But I think it was a pair of Red Wing pull-up boots. Because I think one style of boots
He's like,
wears
he
is
wants
Red
to act like he doesn't know, but dude, he checked out Chris head to toe. He says, I think it was a pair of Red Wing boots. Like he's trying to be nonchalant. He knew damn well what they were. But look at this view, Potato.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Wing.
Okay.
What color was the shirt?
It was blue. It was very dark blue, like a navy blue.
Jesus. Okay. Give us a little more description on the blue.
And that shirt was different than the shirts that he usually wore.
Yes. Well, usually he wears I believe it's Area Out that makes most of ours that are coming from down there. They're a little bit better looking.
What's the company name again?
Area.
How do you spell that?
I have no idea.
Is that the shirt you were wearing?
It's on the tags of our
Yeah.
clothes, but I don't know.
Yeah. Those style of t-shirts.
Okay.
Is
So
what
that's
we
the more form
shirts.
shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
They fit a little bit closer and stuff like that. But this other shirt he had, because like you guys had said the last time, he's lost a lot of weight here in like the last 6 months to a year. So I think it was one of his old shirts that he had, in his closet. Because I even have some old shirts like that that are baggy as heck.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's wearing his old boots.
I would say they're
older.
I would say they're older because they're not his new ones. And I've only seen him that I've noticed wear lace-ups. And these were slip-ons.
Slip-ons.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the reason why drew my attention to them is it drives me nuts if anybody tucks their boots or their pants inside their boots and the boot deal's showing. That drives me insane. So
He really
he
pays
had it
attention
like
to what
half
people are
Yeah, he
wearing.
does.
It was weird because one side was down and the other side was tucked into his boot.
Okay.
So it instantly drew my attention.
He hates that.
That's unusual for him. Is
Yes,
he
well,
is
yeah.
he generally
He's
when you
generally
see him? Okay,
clean cut.
let me see if I can make this one.
That's like a redneck thing
So
to put your
generally,
jeans
when
in
you
your
see
boots.
him in a work
Ugh, that
setting,
sheet.
Yes.
he's
But
at
see how
least
tall that is,
dressed.
Potato? All that stuff around it?
It is. You'd think if it'd blown away, it would have got caught
He's
on
put
top of
together.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Put
what
on the
he
ground.
Or
would,
wrapped
Yeah.
around something.
and not sloppily.
No,
looks
he looks
tossed.
like, a field coordinator looks,
Okay.
because, the higher up you go and everything like that, people pay more and more attention to your dress.
Sure.
So I always try to come to work looking as nice as I possibly can. I've only got what God gave me.
This guy
So,
cracks me up,
but,
kind of. I
he
only
was
got what
always
God
nice
gave
to me.
me.
Okay.
And that was just kind of threw me off, so I gave him shit about it. I just made a comment, slumming it today, and that was it.
He gave him shit
And
about
that's
it
as
that
far as
day.
it went. Chad laughed, Melissa laughed.
Chad and Melissa
was it.
laughed.
What about his pants? What kind of pants was he wearing?
They were making fun of
I believe those would have been. I think the manufacturer on this particular style pants is Bulwark,
Okay.
and he usually wears Ariat
Mm.
because they were a baggier pant than
Okay.
what I'm used to seeing him in.
Did you notice anything, besides the bagginess, anything else about his clothing?
No, I mean that was it. I knew he was wearing it had to have been an older shirt back from whenever, he was bigger, and then the pants and the boots.
Did you notice if his shirt was dirtier than normal?
No, it looked
His
clean.
pants dirtier than normal?
No,
Anything like that?
everything looked clean. There was no stains on his pants. There was no stains on his shirt.
Okay.
Nothing.
Did he seem out of sorts? Was he tired, sweaty?
No,
Acting different, more quiet than usual? I know you said he's a quiet
yeah,
guy.
he's kind of a quiet guy, but that particular day, I try to joke around because I joke around with everybody. That's just the guy that I am in the group. And
I'm just a funny guy.
he would kind of joke around a little bit and stuff like that, but that was it. He was, quiet. Some days Chris is, pretty talkative. You can have an interaction with him, and then other days he's more reserved and he really doesn't, engage with you whenever you do that. Because we joke about things. We both watched a lot of the same movies, and stuff like that. So we say stupid movie lines, and he just wasn't replying like he normally would. But I didn't think it was out of sorts at the time because of the fact that, okay, well maybe he woke up late. He's tired. I don't know.
Okay. So you guys show up there, you mess with the back pressure line. Do you get it fixed at that point? Or
We
is
did
it,
not get it fixed, sir.
okay,
That line is still currently, as far as I know, locked out, tagged out.
okay. So how long are you guys on the scene to try to fix that?
Well, since they had already diagnosed the problem, we wasn't there a very short period, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm guessing,
Okay,
that I was there.
okay.
Because
So,
they had already been there before me and diagnosed that it was leaking.
so once it's diagnosed that it's leaking, you guys figure out that you can't fix it right at the moment.
Right.
You guys move on.
Yeah, well, we have to move on as long as it's locked and tagged out, and that line wasn't going to interfere. They wanted us to open up that top field because that location is a Thames location, which is the Thames is what helps with emissions, so we don't emit any gas out of the top of the
Sure.
feed patch or anything. So they wanted that line open, and that's the only reason why it was open. Because Cody didn't even open that line until last week. So we went ahead and closed it, locked and tagged it out. The well was still able to run because it's almost it was almost a load out there. I think Cody said it had about 9 foot in it, makes about 2 inches a day. He said by Thursday or Friday that tank should be ready to haul. So that's what we did. We left it running.
Okay. So, and just so I'm clear, everybody left when you guys left.
Yeah, they
Okay.
left, and then.
And did you guys return to the 319 at all?
No, sir.
That day?
I didn't return to the 319 that day. I went back over to the 1029.
Okay.
The 1029 pumping unit is where we were.
Everybody.
Yeah, well, Melissa, Cody was over there because Cody was already at the 1019 prior.
Okay.
And then Chris pulled
I'm
up,
sorry,
and
is
then
it
I pulled up behind him.
1019 or 1029?
1029.
Okay.
1029.
Make sure we're talking about the right one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
319 to 1029.
Yes,
so
I know.
11:49, so-
Yeah, there's so
Okay.
many different well names, man.
Yeah. Okay, so let me do that one again. So
Yes,
everybody
sir.
left,
Yes.
and then everybody went over to the 1029.
Yes, sir.
Is that
The
correct?
1029.
Okay.
But him
Along
and
with
I were
Cody.
the last ones on the 319 location
Okay.
because I was standing over by that valve that we locked and tagged out, and Chris was over by his pickup. Melissa and Chad got in their trucks, and they drove off and said, "We'll see you guys at the 1029." I said, "Okay." So I grabbed his shovel, walked it over to his pickup, and he said, "No, there's still staining on that ground, so we need to cover that up." So he covered it up. We got in the truck. I told him I closed the gate. He left, and then I left.
What's the point of covering it up? Just 'cause
Covering
I'm
up
curious.
well, if a state inspector comes out and they find like a puddle of oil right there, then that would be a fine instantly.
Okay.
But if there's this staining on the ground, then you have a chance to investigate what happened. So we're still going to get the line fixed, but until the line was fixed, they wanted the line covered up.
Gotcha. Just curious.
No, that's fine.
All right. So you guys leave, go to the 1029.
Yes, sir.
And you guys stay there for the rest of the day?
I was there for almost the rest of the day. I didn't leave until around 2 o'clock.
Okay. What
But,
about Chris?
Chris, I'm thinking it's about 11 o'clock to noon is whenever, because he kept getting phone calls from a lady that was at the house, ringing the doorbell and everything like that, and couldn't get a hold of Shanann. Because she tried to call her, I guess, several times that morning and said that she'd missed the doctor's appointment or whatever that she had.
Okay.
So he was worried. He told me that he was getting worried about it because nobody could reach her. So about 11 o'clock or so, he told us he was going home. But when Chad and McNeil and I talked, I mean, I don't know if this would be anything that you guys could look into further for any kind of evidence or anything, but he told us that he had to use the restroom on the 1029. So he told me it was number 2. So he told us, well, I said, let's go over there by that tank at the 1029. So he backed his truck into the sunflowers at the 1029 and used the restroom.
Okay.
I mean, that's not out of the norm for us because we don't have porta potties out there. But, I mean, that is something that he did do on that location.
Okay. When did you and Chad kind of discuss things?
Well, I spoke with him again today.
Okay.
He's like, you want to make sure that you bring that up to those gentlemen in case it can't help anything.
Right.
Because I talked to Chad and I talked to Luke and told him that I was going to be coming in today.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Chad's the other field coordinator. So I was keeping in the loop with him, and I called him because Luke didn't answer the first time. So I just wanted to call Luke to let him know that I was coming into the office today to do an interview with each other.
Okay.
Oh, good. Can we back up to the 319 for a second?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
When he was he looking around, just at kind of the surroundings at all? Did you
Well,
notice?
Okay. Whenever he got back, when we got ready to get back in our pickups and leave, he was messing on the phone, like texting or whatever. I don't know if he was texting the lady that was at the house or whatever the case may be. It didn't seem odd to me at the time because I thought he was walking toward the back of his pickup, and before we leave location, we're supposed to do a circle check, a 360 circle check. That means you walk all the way around your pickup to verify that there's nothing in your way so you don't hit it. So whenever I seen him walking, he walked just right past his truck, just a little bit, not very far, and looked out in the field like that, and then he walked right back, and that was it.
Did he do a full check, or did he look at a specific point?
No, he didn't look at any specific point. It's like his eyes were just kind of up like looking toward the sky. He
Okay.
just had his head up and just kind of looked around like that, and then turned around and walked right back.
So was he looking out into the field, or was
Yes,
he looking back
he was
over the
looking out
path
into the field.
to the south?
Yeah, I guess that would be the south. I get confused whether or not.
Yeah. Basically towards 76.
So-
All right,
South
if he's
is
parked
that
right
way.
here, yeah, he walked right past his pickup, just a little ways, not like super far, but just right past his pickup, because I thought he was doing a circle check. And then he looked out, just looked across the field real quick, and then he walked right back to his truck and got in.
So was he off the pad out here in the weeds?
Yeah, well, yeah, because way he parked his truck with his tailgate was right kind of by the weeds.
Right
Oh,
back
Oh
here.
my
my
Right back
God.
here.
Good Lord.
So he did back it up to the edge.
Yep.
Wow.
And he's looking off in this direction. Is that?
Yeah, he was looking off because he walked right past here, and he was looking back in here. I mean, it was just brief. It wasn't like he was staring or nothing like that. He just walked back there, kind of glanced around, and then walked right back to his pickup.
Okay. But if you're doing a safety check, you should be looking.
Yeah, if
Here,
you're doing a
not
circle check,
here.
you should be walking right next to your pickup. You check your wheel wells and everything.
Circle
verify
check.
that
He
there's
thought he
nothing
was
there
doing a
or anything
safety
behind
practice.
you when you go to back up, that you're going to hit, because we have a lot of operators who fixed
I'm
objects.
sure.
So, yeah,
I would be one.
it's a big deal.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything out here that would be of interest at all?
No, because I mean, the well pad for this site is just right here.
Okay.
This is just fenced off right out in here, because there is a fence around this whole entire location. And then the gate right there, and we're supposed to keep the gate closed because the landowner or the gentleman that rents the ground doesn't want his cattle inside of this, because
Right.
it doesn't hit any valves or
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
like that. So that's all there is right here.
Are you going to
There's
tell
the
us what kind of
wellheads here,
cattle they
your
have too?
separators here, your tanks here. That's the only thing that we mess with right there.
Okay. Fair enough. And then when you got to this site, I think you said he had a shovel and he was already digging.
Well, no, the shovel was already, whenever I got to the 319, they'd already dug it up.
Okay.
His shovel was standing right next to the freaking catwalk. So whenever I walked up, his shovel was right up here,
Okay.
and the hole had already been dug
How big of a
right
hole?
there. That big around.
How deep?
8 inches,
Oh my God.
maybe 8, 9 inches.
8 inches.
Because I don't think the lines
That's what
are very
Shanann's
deep
grave
underneath that
was.
berm. And then before they elbow and then come up, right there by the tanks.
Mhm.
So you could see a little puddle right there of oil about that big around, and that's it.
Okay. Did Chad or Melissa have shovels out too?
No, not that I know of, because I think Chris had already done that. Because
Okay.
that was the only shovel that I seen that was out of the pickup on location.
Okay. did Melissa or Chad have any other tools out?
No, everybody just carries their crescent wrench.
Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
that's our thing. As soon as we get out of the truck as operators, 90% of our job will focus on a 12-inch crescent wrench.
Okay.
So I always carry that in my back pocket even when I hop out, because we use them to change or turn the wing valves on the wellhead.
Is that some CYA or what? Potato.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I
he's
think it's
telling
funny,
him about
like
wing valves and shit.
he focuses on the wrenches and stuff. Like everyone has a wrench. Like the wrench is so important. How on earth did he leave his wrench out there then? Did he not check that he didn't have his wrench with him when
Well,
he
and
left?
not only
It's
that,
not
if a crescent
in his back
wrench
pocket.
is some basic tool that you always have, wouldn't you have backups?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Or if you need it so much, you'd make sure that you put it back in your
Yeah,
back pocket before you're leaving.
It's kind of like women and like lip gloss. We don't just have one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One wrench that you use so much.
Oh my God. And he's mentioned this freaking wrench at least 4 or 5 times now.
Mm-hmm.
Inlet valves, the separator, the dump valves, everything. We use the 12-inch for everything.
The big 12-inch.
So if you jump out of your truck without the crescent wrench, it's kind of like you're useless.
Yeah. Yeah. I always give all the new guys heck whenever they jump out. I was like,
Where's your
"Been
crescent
around
wrench?
very long, have you? Because you forgot your crescent wrench."
Oh my God.
Oh, like you did, Troy.
Okay, officially, when we have enough members and I can make more stickers, we're going to have a crescent wrench sticker. Or maybe we should just call our moderators crescent wrenches.
Crescent wrench.
So,
Yeah, fair enough.
That gets worse
All right.
too. COVID.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
so Chris is getting phone calls and texts. Can't find Shanann,
right.
and he says he's worried about her, and then he leaves at some point. Do you remember about when that was?
I would say between 11 and 12.
Okay.
Somewhere in that time frame window. I don't remember exactly. I know I'll wear a watch, but I didn't think anything was
Didn't
out
pay
of the
attention.
norm
Yeah.
at
Okay.
all. So
No.
I didn't, attribute that to anything.
Yeah. And how far is it from the 1029 to the 319?
1029 to the 319. Like 5 minutes.
So it's pretty close.
10 minutes. Yeah, it's not that far away. I mean, you have to take that road, go back out of the 319, and you head back toward that original gate.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you hit that intersection where you turn and go to the gate, you can turn right, and then you head up that hill just a little ways. And then, like I was telling you, that riverbed, and you cross the riverbed, and the 1029's right there.
Okay.
So all those wells are pretty short driving distance from each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And to your knowledge, he didn't go back to the 319.
No. But Chad and I were staying on location at the 1029 because we had to call, I think Steve Ergonati, and he shoots fluid levels for us because we had that pumping unit going for almost 2 hours, and the stuffing box was heating up. And the polish rod, because there was no fluid, it wouldn't bring any fluid down hole. So I don't know if something's happened down hole with the pump, but the stuffing box is right on top of the wellhead, and as soon as that thing heats up, you have to keep spraying it or putting grease on it or anything like that to keep it cool. Because as soon as you burn those rubbers, if any fluid does come up, then it would go all over the place.
Sure. Yeah.
So we had to shut the unit down, change out the stuffing box rubbers, and then we gave Steve Ergonati a call, and he has a echometer type deal where he shoots nitrogen into the backside of the casing so you can see the fluid level. So actually he shot it into the tubing, but you can see the fluid level on his computer because it can tell you that sound wave that runs down the well will tell you where all the collars are and everything. And I stayed out there while they shot the fluid level.
Okay. All right, so you work on the 1029 for the rest of the day.
Yes, and about 2 o'clock I left. Chad was out there longer because he was talking to Steve.
Okay. And you left and what did you do after that?
I left and went straight back toward, like Hudson
Mhm.
and everything, so I could come back into the middle of the field. That way I could be there if anybody needed anything, because being a field coordinator, you have to wait until everybody leaves the field and everybody checks out to make sure everybody makes it home safe before you can leave the field. So then as soon as the last person checked out, I can give you the time on that too.
Yeah.
Spreadly bar.
Okay, page 12 of the discovery says that the bed of Chris's work truck was filled with items including a fire
Sorry, there's been
extinguisher.
a lot of activity in the group message.
Wait, hold on, let me pause here for a sec. A fire extinguisher, a large diameter hose, a shovel, a gas can, and multiple toolboxes. And then it says, Chris explained that he dug Shanann's grave using a shovel from the back of his work truck. Chris said he always had a shovel with him at work. I asked Chris how Shanann was dressed, and he said she was wearing a black or gray t-shirt and blue underwear. And then we used a shovel to carefully scrape off the top layers of dirt. We discovered what appeared to be paper towels along with what appeared to be excrement. So that's when they found his poop. And then they also took hose implements as well as miscellaneous hand tools, which included a round point shovel, a square point shovel, and a sickle. Did you know that they found a sickle? Hello? Oh, potato message. She's using the ladies' room.
I'm back.
Did you know they found a sickle in his truck?
What's a sickle?
It's like a big, huge, like where you cut down like weeds. It's like a handheld like blade. It's like curved.
Oh no,
A
I didn't know
sickle?
that. Mm-mm.
That's what I'm reading here. Hold on.
April. I wasn't.
A
actually.
red-handed sickle. A red gas can. This is all from his work truck. They seized tools, red-handed sickle, gas can, clothes, work boots from work truck. They found boots in the Lexus. They have a black plastic bag from the Anadarko site. Marker 1. Black plastic bag from Marker 2. Anadarko site. Gray and white sheet from Marker 3. So there were 2 black garbage bags found.
Out in the field.
Mm-hmm. Marker 4 was the Anadarko site rake head.
Mm-hmm.
And then marker 5 is the rake handle. Marker 7 is suspected hair from East Tank, thief hatch. That's marker 6. And then partial piece of rake handle from marker 7. Round point shovel from work truck, marker 8. B&L repair square point shovel from work truck, marker 9. B&L repair sickle from work truck, marker 10.
So do they normally have a sickle with them?
Probably
part of
to
their
cut down
tools?
that stuff, those weeds.
Why would they
Yeah.
need to cut down the weeds though?
I don't know. Maybe if something gets overgrown. I'm not sure. I don't know. Gas can is marker 11. Swabs from steering wheel of work truck. B&L repair black plastic bags from floor of work truck. driver's side front seat cover from work truck, passenger side front seat cover, black rubber boots from rear passenger side floor of work truck, trace lift from center console of work truck, trace lift from rear seat driver's side work truck, trace lift from rear seat passenger side, cigarette lighter from passenger side front door panel, brown boots from Lexus, white shirt from Lexus, miscellaneous paperwork from Lexus. And it looks like that's it that I can see anyways.
So did he change his clothes? Because Troy said he was wearing blue, right? A blue shirt. But when he got back to the house, he was in grey.
Yeah, I don't know. Because
So
that shirt didn't look like super huge to me, but...
And if they didn't retrieve any clothes from his truck, then where did his blue shirt go?
Maybe he's colorblind. He thought the gray was blue. Because all they found was a white shirt in the Lexus.
He pays so much attention to detail, though, with his clothes and stuff.
He did. That was really kind of funny.
I think you know.
I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We hear
I
the
just
snakes.
popped back in.
Hey, I'll be right back. You guys talk. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a pop.
Okay.
Okay. Well, wasn't there a dumpster that he went by with the GPS? Wasn't there a dumpster? I mean, he could have gotten rid of the clothes there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the
always
blankets and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I
But
think
what's funny is the blankets that and the blankets that he stated that he took with him that morning with the girls was actually found at the house later on that day.
Yeah,
So-
I remember that. Wasn't there something about them being two blankets that were the same, though? Or was that not true?
Yes, I've heard that. No, I don't know the validity of it all. I don't. I mean, 'cause I feel like, for the past 3 years, it's just been one thing after another, and it's hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah, there's so many different stories and stuff. It's hard to tell what's rumors and what's actually true as well. Like, someone could have just said that there was two blankets. No one really knows if there was or not.
Yeah, I think there was one made for each of the girls, though, if I'm not mistaken. I do think that they had their own.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm not 100% sure on that. It seems like
Were they the
everything's
same
together.
or were they different? Did they have the same blankets or were they two different ones for each girl?
The New York Yankees blanket.
There was
so
just
they
one?
could have been two.
I'm not sure. That's what we were just talking because we were talking about the possibility
All right.
of the dumpster. That dumpster that he drove by. He could have gotten rid of all of his stuff. That's what we all thought in the beginning. That the reason why, his clothes or whatever were different was because he changed and dumped them at the dumpster.
Well, and you remember when they did the dog thing? When they walked down their
Yes.
road, that dog went nuts on that dumpster.
Yes, it did.
And the
But
lady
then
ignored
why
it.
didn't they collect things from? Yeah, but why did? Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, why didn't they collect the things from the dumpster?
Yeah, she didn't even alert to it.
That's
She didn't
like
even look in the
Detective
dumpster.
101. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't even look.
That was so frustrating with that dog as well.
Watching it, yeah, it was like, lady, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep listening.
I get it. Yeah.
Meeting M&Ms.
There's Tuesday. Okay, that's what time I checked out. Headed out, Daniel Barr, and I checked out right there, right after Daniel Barr.
And what time was that?
So I'm guessing that was about around
A little
3:56
A
p.m.
little after 4, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe right at 4.
And Chris didn't send the message when he was leaving the field, so I put Chris's out as well.
Okay.
Everybody have a good evening.
Okay. Can you scroll up to the beginning of the day? I understand that.
Oh yeah,
usually,
that's fine, sir. No.
when you check into a site too, most people will use the group me to say, "Hey, I'm here," or "I'm over here,"
Okay,
whatever
that's
the case is.
Saturday, Sunday, because this is Victor Zambala. He worked the weekend.
Okay.
All right, and then Cody at 6:30 or 6:28 a.m. in the field.
Yeah.
We're out in the field. I don't know. Luke saying that Alex is on PTO.
Okay.
So Tony or Robbie to please cover that route. And I got a O2 hit at 11:21 a.m. on my gas monitor
Okay.
because I was getting a pipe wrench out of my toolbox, and if you stand too close to that exhaust where your truck's running,
Oh yeah.
they give you a hit. So the IOC called me
Things
3
kind of
times.
sensitive.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They had to call me 3 times because now anytime our monitors ding or we get a hit, the
Yeah.
IOC calls to verify that we're okay.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Okay. Would it be unusual for people to not check in on grouping?
no, not all the time.
Okay.
I mean, if you're out in the field, and as long as it's usually after 6:30-ish, Alex Ray, he'll always send a message whenever he's out in the field, and usually Alex gets out there real early, like 5:30. He's almost like my alarm. He sends a message whenever he gets out to the field, but he was off all the way from Monday till Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
And
What
that's
about
on Luke's calendar down there if we need that.
what about for Chris? Does he usually check in?
No, usually he comes to the office.
Usually comes to
Yeah.
the office.
Because usually we just see all each other out in the office because he usually carries a big red jug that he fills up with water every morning. It's about yay big, and he always gets water at the ice machine down there in the break room.
So for Monday, would it have been unusual for him to not stop at the office first?
Well, he told me on Friday that he was going out to 319
Right.
to check out that leak.
Okay.
So we didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, but just overall, is
Just
that
so, yeah, because he always comes to the office.
okay?
You know?
Always or
I would
most of the
say
time?
pretty much always.
Okay.
You know, he's there because that's where him and I meet because we're both field coordinators, and he'll, talk to me about any issues that we're gonna have out in the field that day or what we need to do.
Okay.
So we'll just go over that and then we'll head to whatever locations we need to. But I always meet him every morning down there in the break room.
Okay.
Why he was so quick to jump on this 319
No,
to
sir,
go check it?
I don't.
I mean, because we're all the way back at Friday,
Right,
and he's talking about, hey, I'll go Monday and do it.
right. No, and Cody's like, okay. Because Cody's the operator out there, so.
And why wasn't Cody fixing it?
Well, Cody found the stain, and Cody found that stain later on in the evening. I can see what time on Friday. Cody
Okay.
called me,
Yeah.
and he said he was going to run back to a couple different locations and back to at least one of the locations out there where he had some oil gator,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just some stuff that we can mix in with the ground. Any kind of oil that sets in there, and that'll help break that stuff down and everything, and remediate that stuff.
Okay.
Let's see.
Would it be typical for somebody to declare ahead days out, like before the weekend starts, that, hey, I'm going to be doing this, or would that usually be something you do the day morning of?
Chris just said since he lived on 52, right off Highway 52, that it's a straight shot from him to leave his house, go straight to Hudson, and jump on 76.
Okay.
And go out there and verify it. And usually when we verify a line that's got a leak, we usually have more than one person out there.
Okay.
That way, if we do send pressure to that line, one person can be here verifying The other person could be at the separator sending the pressure. That way, if there is a leak, we can hurry up and shut it off.
Okay.
That way we don't have excess contamination.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
whenever Cody Roberts called me the last time, because I called him and asked him how it was going, and then he called me again whenever I was in the parking lot on Friday of that week, was at 3:13 p.m. Whenever Cody Roberts called me and identified that there was a leak out at Cervi Ranch, or at least at the time he suspected that there was a leak.
Okay.
And I told him, don't worry about it, dude. It's Friday, we'll double check it on Monday. We can go out there on Monday morning and verify. And that's whenever Chris said, I'll go out there on Monday morning.
Okay.
So,
Is he usually one to volunteer for something like that?
yeah, usually he is. I mean, he's really good about doing that stuff.
Let's go to Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday morning, tell me what you do.
Tuesday morning, I come into the office, meet with the group, talk about whatever we got to do that day. I know that we had training set up to go, because Luke sent out a message for training that we had to have at the Aquaterra State. So I went to the Aquaterra State.
First?
No, not first. I'm trying to pull it up for you.
Sure.
Okay, we're still on Monday. Let's go.
Monday evening.
Monday evening, the text messages I gave you.
Yeah, I think
I just sent him a
just asking
text.
how he was.
Okay.
Chris was pretty short, or just saying
Yeah, none of his replies were very long.
no.
And then Luke sent out in the group me that morning at 6:31 that Chris would not be in that day.
6:31.
Yes, because I guess he called and talked to Chris Tuesday morning.
Who did?
Luke Apple.
Luke. Okay.
Okay, they ordered an air compressor. Everyone meet me at the Aquaterra State, 1836 at 11:15 p.m. for some training. Bring your Mod 1 books if you have them, because we got to complete our Mod 1 before November for any APC blue badges.
What's a mod one?
A Mod 1 is a general knowledge of all your parts, moving parts, your separators, your pumping units, your ECDs, your gas compressors, your VRUs, your VRTs. So they want you to be able to go out to a location and walk them through every step on how that functions. So I tested out last year, the beginning of this year on it. And if you didn't get a 2 all the way around, then you would have to turn around and redo it. So the ones that I missed, we're going over some of that. And Luke had another meeting that day, so he had to have a phone call at 1 o'clock. So we set on that location and we went over the air skids. So Aquaterra State's not anywhere.
All right. So Tuesday morning, you came here.
Yes.
Got your burrito.
Yes.
All right. And
Oh my God. I can't with the burrito.
what do you do? Do you hang around the office? Go check stuff?
Well, I hang around the office for a little bit, just talk to the guys, and then after that, I'm trying to remember honestly if it was Tuesday or what day it was. Victor Zambala was having trouble gauging the tank, So I went out with him because he's one of our new guys. He's having trouble color cutting. And that was at the Canon 6768. And
Where's
I
that
went
one at?
there, right off County Road 22.
So fairly close.
Yeah, County Road 22 and 31.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to remember whether or not Tuesday, because Tuesday you guys had me come back, I believe, to the office.
I think we spoke Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
When
think it
we
was
came in?
Wednesday.
Okay. Well,
So this
okay, I
is the
got, no, I
second
got a call
interview.
from the officer in Frederick. That was at 2 o'clock or something like that.
Okay, hold on.
So,
Potato, I think this is the second interview because this is the 17th. If they talked to him Wednesday, there was one before this.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it even exists out there.
I know I either helped gauge tanks or something that morning, and I told them that we needed to head to training, so we headed out. Or did I go with Daniel Barr? I don't know. If you guys pull my card aside, you guys can tell exactly where I was. I was either with Daniel Barr or Victor Zambala that day.
Okay. And then you go to the training.
Yeah, we go to the training.
What time was that?
Training. Well, that we had to be there by, I guess, what, 11:15? Is that what I said?
Yeah, I think that was what you said.
Yeah, 11:15 for the Mod 1 training. So I show up at the Mod 1 training.
And where was that at?
The Aquaterra State.
Where's that at?
Aquaterra State is, I don't know what the intersecting county road is, but 47 and 4, and then you go east a quarter.
This
and
guy
south
is so chatty.
Okay. How far is that from here?
It's on the other side of Hudson. So
Oh, it's a ways.
Yeah, it's on the other side. Like if you take 52 out, like you're going through Hudson, straight through Hudson, the first road right outside of Hudson, if you're heading to the east, is County Road 47. First dirt road that goes south. So you take that dirt road, go south all the way to County Road 4, and then from 4 over about a quarter of a mile, and then south into it.
Oh,
Okay. Is that like a training center for you guys?
No, that's just a vertical that they wasted a lot of money on.
Okay.
Well, it's built closest to the HZ sites. It's the only site that we have in the field that has pneumatic air,
Okay.
where all the dumps and everything are run off air compressors. So that's the reason why he went there to train us, because he wanted to go over the air compressor portion of the training.
Okay. So how long does the training last?
Almost until 1 o'clock, because Luke had 15 minutes until he had to be on the phone. Whenever we were
Oh my
wrapping up.
God. He gives way too much information.
So what do you do after you leave the training?
Okay, there from that point, you know, I've got everything here going through my head, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because it's been since Monday since we've heard anything from Shanann.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, let me stop you there.
No, you're fine.
So you said you got everything in your head. Tell me what that means.
Well, everything that's going on. Yeah, well, Chris took off work, you know, and I'm worried about his wife and his kids, because I've known his wife and his kids, you know. I've been over, hung out with Shanann, hung out with Bella and everything. So I'm like, what's going on here? And he's been real short with me on text messages, you know, and there's been no news updates. I've been seeing, you know, stuff coming out that people are looking for me. Everybody's sharing it on Facebook. So I was like, well, if nothing else, it's 1 o'clock. I don't have anything else to do. I'll head back out toward that 319 and, you know, see if I see anything out of the norm and stuff like that. And that's the same time that officer called me.
What prompts you to want to go to the 319?
Because that was the first location we were at that morning.
Okay. Just because, or
yeah,
something's tripping
honestly,
your suspicion here, obviously.
Well, I mean, honestly, because I've seen him in the different clothes. Okay, I seen him in that, and then, you know, and he just was short with me that day.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't really like engaging in conversations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, 11 o'clock to noon, his wife's gone,
Mm-hmm.
supposedly. And, he thought that she went to a friend's house or whatever. I'm like, this is, even in my head, it's not adding up.
So you've been thinking about this quite a bit as
Well, I love
Monday
my
went
guys
along
I work
and
with. They're all like my brothers.
yeah.
Honestly. You can ask my whole group. I would do anything in the world for them, I'd be there for them. They can talk to me about anything, and everything. And I was like, man, this is just so weird because they're such a picture perfect couple. And then all of a sudden she's just gone,
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't make any sense to me because by then we'd heard that the cell phone was there, the kids' medication was there, the purse was there at the house, everything. And Shanann and the girls were gone. That didn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
Because Shanann lives on that phone because that's what her business is that phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I drove out to the 319. And as soon as I went through the gate was already open. There was a water truck driver on location.
Okay.
And from MPT. And I signed his JSA. So I parked out by the wellhead. And I didn't want to alert the guy that I was, out there looking for anything odd and suspicious or anything like that. So
You know what time that was?
It was around 2 o'clock or so. I
Okay.
arrived out there, and I talked to the gentleman and everything like that. And told him, I was like, well, I think, I might have forgot a crescent wrench or whatever, because I didn't want to tell him, because I didn't know if I should look around the field or what I should do. So that's what I told him.
Okay.
And then I signed his JSA, and I turned around and looked at the clock, and it's like, it's so freaking late that by the time I get out of Cervi Ranch and back to, the area around like County Road 22 and, 37, kind of like a baseline, if somebody needs me, then I'm going to be way too far away. So I went ahead and just got back in my truck after I signed his JSA and left location.
Okay. Why did you sign that?
Because I'm supposed to.
Okay.
What is
I
it?
have to sign that
What
JSA.
is a JSA?
Job site analysis.
Okay.
So these contractors that work for us, so they pull up on a location, they pull a tank, which he pulled the open top water pit. Is what he pulled. That's what he was hooked up to.
So this water truck driver, do you know who that is?
No, sir, I don't know his name.
Okay.
But I did sign his JSA.
Okay.
Did
Is
you
that
know?
what this is?
I signed electronically. He just handed it to me and said, sign this. Because it's his JSA. So you're supposed to go through the steps in order to pull procedures. Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Okay. So this thing here has a list of all these questions and who filled all this out?
He would have.
He did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is something he fills out every time he goes
You're
on
supposed
site?
to. Every time you go, well, not every time you go on a site, but if you're pulling a load of water, like if they're just driving up on a site, they don't have to pull one out. But if you're doing any kind of work that's outside the realm of normal activity, but for them, that's their job. So they're required to fill out a JSA for Anadarko.
Okay.
So they have to fill out the JSA, they have to go through their job steps and everything. When we pulled up, he had his vent line and everything in the right direction. He had it vented away from his truck, and the wind wasn't blowing toward his pickup or nothing like that.
Where is he parked when you get here?
He is parked, okay, your water pit's right here.
Yep.
He is parked right here.
Is that a normal place for him to park?
Yeah, that's a normal place, I would say, for him to park, so he can, because I believe you have to go over the top to pull these open top pits. So he would just put his load line inside that pit right there and then pull out the sludge.
Okay.
And he was hauling this load to the OPF.
Where?
The OPF, the oil polishing facility,
Okay. Where's that at?
that's on County Road 49.
Where do you park when you pull up on Tuesday?
When I pulled up on Tuesday, I went right by him, right over here, and I pulled up right about here on the location.
Okay.
And then he walked over from his pickup before I ever even got out of my truck, and he was right here. And I signed the JSA right there.
Okay. Did he ask you what you were doing?
Yeah, and I told him I was looking for a crescent wrench.
Okay. That was bullshit.
Well, I didn't, just because things have been so out of sorts, I wanted to, to go out here to see if I seen anything because I've spoken to the officer too.
Okay. When you remember what the officer's name that you spoke to?
I got a voicemail. And I spoke to him at like 2:04. But, things in my head weren't adding up correctly in my eyes. So I do have a voicemail from him.
Someone's about to get lucky in chat.
Tuesday.
Let's see who gets it.
Hudson, Colorado. Okay, here's the voicemail then.
Brandy! Welcome, Brandy.
What time?
He called me earlier than the attorney.
For Troy McCoy. This is Officer Walgie with the Federal Police Department. I was wondering if you could give me a
Can you
call
replay
back.
that part again? Can you replay that first part again?
Officer
303.
Walgie.
Hello, this message is for Troy McCoy. This is Officer Walgie with the Federal Police Department. I was wondering if you could give me a call back on my cell. It's 303-500-4073. Again, that's 303-500-4073. I was calling you with regard to working on trying to find a missing person. And I was going to ask you, Christopher Watts, I believe that you work with him, gave your name as someone that he was going to meet yesterday in the early morning, possibly would meet, or that you work out at a site where he was going to be working. So, anyway, he gave your name. I was just wanted to talk to you. A couple questions with regard to Chris, and that would be it. So, if you can give me a call again, Officer Walgie, W-A-L-J-E of the Frederick Police Department. If you feel more comfortable,
Yeah, really.
you can certainly call the police department. I'm currently here, I should say. And I can talk to you at the office if you feel more comfortable calling that number. But again, my cell is 303-500-4073 in case I have to leave. Thank you. Good night.
All right, thanks.
Yep, no problem.
Did you know that the water guy was going to be out there?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, the water guy was out there. Well, Cody Roberts told me that he was going to have the load bottomed out at Cervi. And then he also told me that the load line was leaking on the tank.
Okay.
Because that load line is leaking on the tank that was almost full.
That was
there.
on Tuesday, or was that another day?
I think it was on Tuesday. And he called me and told me that they were going to have that pit bottomed out. And I think the water truck told me that he got like 15 or 20 barrels of oil out of there, or not oil, but water. And then he pulled the rest of the oil and stuff, BS&W that was on top of the tank.
Okay. So is it normal for you to sign this? If you show up on site when they're on site, they
Yes,
want
you
to
have
sign
to
that.
sign that.
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you pull up around here, approximately here.
Yeah.
He comes over before you're even out of your car. Or
Yeah,
out of
before I
your
even
truck.
get out of my pickup.
Okay. Do you ever get out of your pickup?
Yes.
Okay. Do you walk around, take a
No,
look?
I mean, whenever I get out of the pickup to talk to him.
Okay.
Because he's walking up and he's right here by my truck. So I get out, and everything and talk with him. And then he told me, that he's here to pull a load and everything like that. And I need to sign his JSA. And the screen is scratched to hell on that JSA. I'm sure. You couldn't read nothing if you wanted to. So I input my name. And then I asked him, I said, where do I sign, sir? So I handed it back to him. He handed it back to me after he got me to the screen where I needed to sign. And then I signed my name.
Okay. All right. Then, so does he leave? Or I'm sorry, go back to his truck?
Yes, sir. He went back to his truck. And then
What do you do?
I get back in my truck because then I looked at the clock and it's already freaking like 2:04 around that time period. So I'm going to go ahead and get back in my truck and I just leave location.
Okay.
Frickin'
So
A.
you weren't there for what, 5-10 minutes?
I wasn't there. No, sir. I wasn't there very long at all.
Okay.
And the gentleman told me that if he found my crescent wrench, that he would lay it up on, the battery. Or the
Everybody
tank
take
and
a
stuff.
shot when he says
Okay.
crescent wrench.
So,
All right.
They'll be smashed.
It's not
Did
just
you
a
have chance
wrench,
to
it's a
look out in this
crescent.
direction at all?
no, sir, I
He
didn't.
was just on you that quick.
Yeah, he was just right there next to me. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, and that's good too because they're supposed to be able to approach people.
Mhm.
As soon as they see somebody pull up on location, they will approach you.
Okay.
They're supposed to. That's what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
I wasn't shocked to see him or nothing like that, but he was
Yeah.
just right there at the pickup. So I signed the JSA and, Because in my heart of hearts, I didn't want to believe that Chris had done anything. You know, I've been his friend for 2.5 years, you know.
He had no idea that the bodies were out there, but he was out there looking around.
Like calling her parents and just being like, hey.
Snooping around and then saying
Yeah,
he's just looking for his wrench.
Bella and the kids are with
Crescent
me. We're
wrench.
good. You know,
Crescent.
I was
Hey,
like,
has anybody
that
seen my
was the
crescent wrench?
location that he was at that morning. So that's why I went out there. Because
It was right here in my back
everybody's
pocket.
looking for clues and tips, anything that can help. And I honestly just want to help.
And something's
Really do.
something's needling you about this.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, you know, I didn't say it in our first interview, but the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
The clothes, it was just different to me. And then
I didn't
whenever
say
told
it in
you
our
about
first
how he
interview.
walked by the back of his truck, it was odd. And then now all of a sudden I find out, you know, the next day that his girls are gone and there's a missing persons report and everything for him and nobody's heard nothing from him. You know, I'm a father. If my wife was gone and everything like that, I'd be freaking out. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, he's just like, hey guys, I gotta go. You know, it wasn't like necessarily like a panic whenever he took
There's
off
no
that day.
urgency to it.
You know, but he's like, hey, you know, I just got to go. And that's all he said. He rolled down his window and he pulled up to Chad McNeil's pickup that day. And he's like, hey, guys, I got to go. You know, something's
Well,
not
what's
right
he
at home.
gonna
And then
say?
he drove off.
How did he drive?
And he just pulled away
How did
normal.
he
It wasn't
drive?
like he was in a fire rush, you know.
Mhm.
If I had my friends call me and tell me, you know, or my wife's friends, that my wife was missing and my 4 kids weren't at home, I'd be freaking out, honestly.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, not if your wife's friends were all the Thrive girls.
Why did you park there?
Because that's where I seen him parked.
Okay. And when the
thought there could
water
be
guy
so
approached you, why didn't you
there.
just keep looking around?
Wait, what?
Like you
Well,
originally said?
after
Hold
he
on.
approached me and everything,
He said, why did you
I was
park
looking at
there?
the clock because I need to be.
Say it again.
He said, why did you park there? He said, that's because that's where he parked.
Right, that's why he was parked by where Shanann was found.
Yeah. Sounds like a good reason. So you're looking
because
for
I
your
need
wrench.
to be off somewhere close to
Out in the
time,
bush.
like 2:30ish and stuff like that,
Okay.
so I can actually get home because I live in Greeley,
Mhm.
and from Greeley to Cervi is a heck of a long drive, you know. And my
Yeah,
wife
it's always-
babysits and everything else.
Oh
so
my
I want to get
God.
home whenever it's
This
close to time
guy.
because I'm not trying to milk the clock, get any extra overtime or anything like that.
Right.
So after he approached me, we talked for, you know, just a couple minutes and everything like that. He told me that if he found my crest wrench, that he'd put in a tank battery for me. And that was it. I got right back in my pickup. I drove around slowly the location, you know, drove around the edge of the location right here. I just drove around right here,
Okay.
you know, and then just went ahead and took off.
Okay. Why didn't you tell him the truth?
Because I didn't want to tell him that I was searching for any kind of suspicious things on location.
What would have been wrong with that, though, if you had just said that?
Well, I know, but I mean, at the time, whenever I was approached, that's what I said, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not here to lie to you guys, you know. I'm upfront and honest about it. Obviously, you guys knew I was there.
I'm not here
I've
to
got no
lie. I
problem
just didn't
telling
tell
you
the whole
exactly where I
truth.
was on location.
Yeah, I'm upfront and honest, but I lied and left
Mhm.
some things out as well.
Didn't want to look suspicious, so I lied.
No.
Did you talk to your wife about this on Monday when you got home?
Well, yeah, because Shanann and Juanita, you know, do the Thrive thing.
Mhm.
Because Juanita's a promoter as well, but she's never even hit her 4K on that. You know, and it just doesn't feel right. You know, for those girls just to disappear and Shanann to disappear, and she's such a public person and everything like that.
She hasn't even hit her 4K because most people don't.
So the wife was
Mhm.
worried about them. She wanted to make sure that they were going to be okay as well.
What was your conversation about? Tell me, not necessarily about. Tell me what was your conversation like? Were you guys, you know, convinced something had happened, or just a little bit concerned?
Well, we
or-
were concerned.
I want to know where his wife's interview is. They apparently, sounds like they talked to her.
Mm-hmm.
Where's her shiz? Juanita?
Probably redacted.
Uh-huh.
Because
I'm going to search Juanita in the Discovery right now.
I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of abilities if they were having issues, you know, and she wanted to leave. If that was the case, for her to take the girls, because I figured she would, you know, and go ahead and go off to a friend's house, because he told me that he thought Shanann had went to a friend's house that morning. So
Chris told you that?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing out of the norm, you know. Like, she goes over to Prince's house and stuff all the time. But that's what I told my wife. I was like, well, I don't know if she took off, went to a friend's house, you know, whatever the case. And then later on in the day, we found out the cell phone was still there, you know, and everything, the purse, all that kind of stuff. And then it just didn't start adding up. You know, you never want to think that one of your coworkers would be capable of doing something like that to a person, you know, anything. And then,
So at what point do you start to think that Chris has done something?
well, the only part I started to think would be Wednesday. Because I drove out to location, you know, I wasn't out there very long on Tuesday. Didn't see anything out of the norm while I was there, but I really didn't look around. You know, I was just got back in my pickup and drove off. And then Wednesday, I didn't text him at all. Nothing. I didn't, you know, try to check on him, anything. And then, okay, then Wednesday would be the day that you guys called me, roughly around 10 o'clock.
Just
or
something
so.
like that, I think it
Yeah,
was.
and then I come back to the office and have a talk with you, Joe.
Were you out at this location ever again after Tuesday?
No, sir, I wasn't. Never again.
Do you know who else has been out at that location since,
Cody
say,
Roberts was out at that location on Tuesday.
Tuesday?
He had to do something out there. I think Cody Roberts was out there, though.
do you remember about what time?
No, sir, I don't. That's just from Cody talking to me,
Okay.
telling me that he was out on location.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Melissa or Chad or anybody like that? Did they ever go back to 319?
Well, I think Melissa would have been back out there because Melissa's been chatting with Cody.
Okay.
Because Cody starts automation cross training next week.
Okay.
So that's the whole reason why Melissa was out there anyway.
Right.
Because she's not the normal operator. She's just a trainee that just got signed off on her SOPs, standard operating procedures.
Mhm.
And then now we're feeling comfortable enough to let her run a route and see how she does.
Okay.
So that just happened to be a particular route which she drew.
Okay. Would there be any reason for anybody to drive out here in the weeds? Out in
No,
the
sir.
grass
There'd be
or
no
anything?
reason at all for anybody to do that.
Is that permitted? You guys get
No,
busted for that?
No, yeah. You like whenever you're out of Cervi Ranch, if you read that sign, it's posted by that gate.
Oh, yeah, it's got the
you
rules
stay
on
the
it.
ranch
Yeah.
road.
That's right.
You don't want to be caught outside of those ranch on the leash roads that are out there because you will get your butt ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our landowners that we have are like that.
Yeah, sure.
You know, even Mr. Batting is that way.
You will get your butt ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to show you something really quick. I
Did you
searched
find
Juanita.
Juanita?
I did. But this is really strange. I don't know if it's his wife or not. But check this out. All right. So it says on Friday, August 17th, which surprisingly, this is the same day that this interview we're listening to took place on.
Yep.
I received a safe to tell report stating that a woman identified herself as Juanita. Now, before we do that, let me show you this screen. I hate that I have to end it and then redo it. I was like, what's a safe to tell report? This is Safe to Tell Colorado. I have no idea what this is. If parents learn of concerns, we recommend that you consider reaching out to the school or local law enforcement directly. This is similar to the first option for students to contact a trusted adult. Safe to Tell is always available as your second option, whether it's because you don't know where to make a report, it's after hours, or you make a report. Safe to Tell is here for threats to student or school safety. So someone used this thing, okay, to report anonymously. This is like for school violence. But they use this. Let's go back to the discovery. And they reported something weird. So Juanita saw on the news that a woman and her two daughters were found dead and that Chris Watts was to blame. She goes on to state that one of her Facebook friends has a daughter named Bella and that he mentions misinformation about having a wife. What? She stated that she has more information but wants to wait and didn't know what school, so she, quote, just chose one. The report has no contact information for Juanita. A copy of the Safe to Tell transcript has been added to the file. Nothing further.
He mentions misinformation about having a wife, though. What?
I don't know. One of her Facebook friends has a daughter named Bella, and that he mentions misinformation about having a wife. I don't.
Weird.
Okay, so there's one other one too. Hold on. Oh, here's more. Okay, hold up. Who's this? Eric McDonald. Would like to know if the information on TV is true. What? They're good. Oh, good friends of Shanann. Look at this.
I was just reading that.
Danielle Mahan giving very detailed information on Facebook on a Channel 7 post about the female and the kid's demise on the 16th at 6:40 a.m. Look at all these tips. Someone found a kid's shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelly Trippy called and wanted to speak to an officer about hosting a candlelight vigil in front of the house for Shanann tomorrow. Okay, here we go. 17:03 on 8/16. So this is Thursday. Per Safe to Tell, there was a party by the name of Juanita from Deep Run, North Carolina, who stated she saw a man on Facebook calling himself Johnson Garcia, who she thinks is the male involved. He stated he had a daughter named Bella and a wife that was a crazy ex and stalking him. He sent Juanita a picture, unknown if it's the same or not. Juanita has more information. No contact information given.
Strange that they've got a
Yeah,
daughter called Bella.
the crazies come out, right? That's
Mhm.
probably all that is. But no,
Yep.
nothing about Juanita McCoy.
Mm-mm.
Like, hey, Juanita, you know, your husband was pretty good friends with Chris Watts. Let's talk about, you know, Shanann and his relationship. I mean, you think they would have talked to her.
They probably did, though. They probably just redacted it all. I mean,
God, but why redact the shit?
if they spoke to Troy another time and it's not anywhere, then how many other people have they spoken to where they've not put it in the discovery or recorded it?
Right? Yeah, where is his first interview? I want to see it. I want to hear it at least. Where is it? Wow. That's the one where he lied to them.
Mm-hmm.
Big size.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that we haven't talked about regarding any of this stuff that you can think of that we need to cover? Even if you think it's not related or it's frivolous or anything else you could think of, you know, suspicions, just rumors, anything else you can think of.
Right. Well, I'm trying to go through my head on everything that I could have said to him that day. I mean, with all this stuff that's going on, you know, sometimes it's hard to remember. But I do. Another thing, that morning, he told me they were having issues and everything like that. But
This is Monday morning.
yes, yeah, you know, he said, yeah, we're having some issues and everything, and you know, he's like, well, her wedding ring was laying on the counter. That's what he told me. That the wedding ring was on the counter, and I was like, why would she leave her wedding ring on the counter? He's like, well, I
He
guess
said that
it's
on
just
Monday
true.
morning.
I don't know, you know, but he sounded hopeful that they could work things out, you know.
Let me go
When
back.
did he say that?
Let's go back.
But
This is Monday morning.
yes,
Yeah,
you know,
Monday
he said,
morning.
yeah, we're having some issues.
He said
and
it on Monday morning that her ring was
everything.
left.
And, you know, he's like, well,
While they were at Cervi for 15 minutes with a shovel.
What?
This is a, hey, is there anything else you forgot to tell us?
Yeah.
Anything else you could think of? Suspicions, just rumors, anything else you can think of?
Thank you,
Well, I'm
Steve.
trying to go through my head on everything that I could have said to him that day. I mean, with all this stuff that's going on, sometimes it's hard to remember. But I do, another thing, that morning, he told me they were having issues and everything like that. But
This is Monday morning.
yes, yeah, he said, yeah, we're having some issues and everything. And, he's like, well, her wedding ring was laying on the counter. That's what he told me. That the wedding ring was on the counter.
This is too weird.
I was like, why would she leave her wedding ring on the counter? He's like, well, I guess that she's just through with me. I don't know, But he sounded hopeful that they could work things out, So that didn't, necessarily bother me at all. He's told me that the wedding ring was laying on the counter.
Counter where, do you say?
No, I don't know if it was a kitchen counter, sir, or their dining room table, because they're right there next to each other.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
Did he say anything about,
Hold on. He just gave himself away a little bit, I think, because if it was on a counter and all Chris said was it was on the counter,
Yeah.
why would you think it was a table?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you think it could be the bathroom counter?
Exactly. He's assuming it was downstairs. But why is Chris even talking about this stuff? Like, he'd just been out there and done all of this, and then afterwards he's talking to Troy about them having issues and that she left her ring. What?
So when did the ring come off Shanann's finger?
Exactly. And he acted surprised that he found it upstairs. Like, oh my God, I just found her ring. But he told Troy.
On the nightstand.
Yeah.
But then Troy's like, oh, it was on the counter. I don't know if it was the counter or their dining room table. What? If it was the table, why would he say the counter?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm saying because I've been listening to Chris Watts too much. All right, let's listen to this again. I'm going to drive everyone crazy. I'm slowing this dude down just for this one part. Because I'm slow like that.
anything else you can think of? Suspicions, just rumors, anything else you can think of?
Right. Well, I'm trying to go through my head on everything that I could have said to him that day. I mean, with all this stuff that's going on, sometimes it's hard to remember, but I do, another thing, that morning, he told me they were having issues and everything like that, but.
This is Monday morning?
Yes. Yeah, he said, yeah, we're having some issues and everything. And, he's like.
Wait a minute.
Well, her wedding ring was laying on the counter.
And everything? Why didn't they stop him and say issues and everything? What kind of issues?
Yeah, what's the everything?
Issues
And also,
and everything.
Why is this an afterthought? He just had this whole interview and then they're like, so is there anything else that you can think of?
Right.
Like, this is kind of an important thing.
Her wedding ring. Yeah.
Her wedding ring, and they were having issues. Should have been one of the first things that he said.
And he's out there parked where he buried her body.
Yeah.
And he was the last one at Cervi with Chris with a shovel. Okay.
Yep.
That's what he told me, that the wedding ring was on the counter. And I was like, why would she leave her wedding ring on the counter? He's like, well, I guess that she's just through with me. I don't know, But he sounded hopeful that they could work things out, So that didn't, necessarily bother me at all. He just told me that the wedding ring was laying on the counter.
But he told him this on Monday.
Yes. Monday morning.
So Shanann was supposed to be still in bed, sleeping, according to Chris. And he's telling this dude the wedding ring's on the counter?
And I thought that he told them that Shanann had just gone to see her friends and stuff. So when did this conversation happen? She's on a play date, but
he said Monday morning.
Yeah.
He hadn't even been home to find the fucking ring.
Mm-mm.
What?
That's what I mean. He acts surprised that he found it that afternoon. But Troy already knew
on
that
Monday
the ring
morning.
was going to be there on Monday morning.
Oh my God.
Counter where, do you say?
No, I don't know if it was a kitchen counter, sir, or their dining room table, because they're right there next to each other.
Did he say anything about, hey, this is going to be hard on the kids? You know, anything like that?
No. He never spoke of his girls.
Never did.
No.
Like-
Other than
like-
whenever
like
he
as a-
said that they didn't go to school or whatever.
Or whatever?
Because I don't know if they had like a daycare or something that they go to every day. But he said, yeah, she didn't take him to daycare and she didn't go to her doctor's appointment.
He
That
told
was
him a
it.
lot.
That's all he ever spoke with the girls.
But he's
Wait.
not
He just
mentioned in the
told me that
play
him
date
and
now.
Shanann had issues
But
and
wait,
everything, and that's why I figured why. 'Cause
when did he tell him she didn't go to the doctor's appointment?
Good point.
This is really weird. Okay, let's listen again.
or their dining room table because they're right there next to each other.
Hear that big
Did
sigh?
he say anything about, hey, this is going to be hard on the kids? Anything like that?
No. He never spoke of his girls.
Never did.
No.
Like-
Other than
like-
whenever
like
he
as a-
said that they didn't go to school or whatever.
See, he lied. He never spoke of his girls, and he said they didn't go to school or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell that whoever this is talking to him did not believe him because he goes, "Did he say, oh God, it's gonna be so hard for the girls?" And he's like, "No, he never spoke of those girls." And he goes, "Really?
Yeah.
He's told you everything else. He's talked about everything under the sun, but those two little girls."
Figure things out. So that didn't, necessarily bother me at all. He just told me the wedding ring was laying on the counter.
Counter where, do you say?
No, I don't know if it was a kitchen counter, sir, or their dining room table because they're right there next to each other.
It's like he knew it was in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Big sigh.
Did he
too.
say anything about, hey, this is going to be hard on the kids? Anything like that?
No. He never spoke of his girls.
Never did.
No.
Like-
Other than
like-
whenever
like
he
as a-
said that they didn't go to school or whatever. At CC and Bella, because I don't know if they had like a daycare or something that they go to every day. But he said, yeah, she didn't take him to daycare and she didn't go to her doctor's appointment. That was it. That's all he ever spoke with the girls. But he just told me that him and Shanann had issues and everything, and that's why I figured why, because she didn't get in till late Monday morning or Sunday night, whenever she got in,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured that they just couldn't sleep. Honestly, is the reason why he looked the way he looked.
There's a reason he looked the way he looked.
What?
But I thought that he looked
What?
normal.
Oh my God. And how does he know that Shanann got home in the morning? He said that, and then he like corrected himself, like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't know that she was delayed."
He knows
Whenever
a lot.
she got home on Monday morning or Sunday night. Oh my God.
Figured why, because she didn't get in till late Monday morning or Sunday night, whenever she got in,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured that they just couldn't sleep. Honestly, is the reason why he looked the way he looked. I never put things out.
He figured they couldn't sleep? Why would he figure they couldn't sleep? But then he looked normal, right? Like you said.
Yeah, he said, well, they all said that he looked normal. Like there was nothing suspicious. But now he's saying that maybe that's the reason why he looked like he did. So how did he look then? He hasn't explained that point.
He is lying.
You a liar.
Or even would have thought about things being out of sorts until nobody heard from her.
Right.
And she's not that type of person at all.
Does he generally talk about his girls on a day-to-day basis?
Here and there, if they get to go do something,
Okay.
he loved playing with them and everything. Last pictures I seen anyway of the girls, other than whenever I seen them on Friday with him, they were happy, laughing, and everything when we met in Fort Lupton. And like the trip that they took out to the beach in North Carolina, he always posts stuff like that, and
I thought Chris didn't have Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
What's he talking about? What's he talking about? Them being at the beach in North Carolina. Unless they were friends with Shanann. And she was posting those
Did he say he
pics.
saw it on Facebook?
Yeah,
Did
he
I
said
miss
he's
that?
always posting stuff like that.
Oh,
Because and isn't it weird to think this dude is one of the last people to see those girls alive?
yeah.
Oh, it makes me sick.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me sick. He said they were happy and laughing. And then he starts
Yeah.
talking about the pictures at the beach on Facebook. And he said he always posts stuff like that.
for the most part, if anybody asked him about his kids, he would just light up, They were like the center of his world, It's what it seemed like, But now that we know what we know now, obviously that must have not been the case. Because any father that loves their children could never do something like that. So I'm just blown away with this, and I know me going out to location on Tuesday does not look good upon my part. And I told the guy I was looking for my wrench, but I had that sick feeling in my stomach. Okay, we haven't heard anything from her. If I can find anything out on that site where I could tell authorities, something about it, that, we could find out what happened, I was praying to God that that wouldn't be true, because that's a guy I worked with for 2.5 years.
Right. Is your buddy?
Yeah, I would consider him a friend, We didn't hang out outside of work hardly at all. I went down to his house twice for thrive parties, like I told you guys before. And then I met him at Fort Lupton because he asked me to try to put some programs on the Fire Stick for him. I said, okay. That was the only reason why we met, and it was a brand new Fire Stick straight out of the box. And I handed it back to him on location that Monday morning. So
He says,
Yeah.
Okay. No, but just
What did you
understand
need the fire
that
stick
we had
for, though?
come across this information.
I think he was saying because he was going to be moving, he wouldn't be able to afford cable. Start talking about putting the cart before the horse.
Why did
Right?
he give it back, though?
Okay. I don't believe for a minute that this fire stick business was anything to do with Chris moving into his own apartment and not affording cable and jailbreaking this thing so he could get all these shows and not have to pay for them. Why would Chris be worried about that? He had to worry about selling a house.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things
Divorce.
you kind of need to sort out.
Yeah,
before
get an
worrying
apartment.
about what you're gonna watch.
Yeah, furniture, but who knows? They did call him Rain Man, so God knows what he was thinking. But I think it's interesting that the family had the Alexa, and the Fire Stick is also an Amazon product.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you can do with those things. Apparently, Troy knows a little more than we do. Because I've never heard of anyone. I'm old, so I don't know. Maybe jailbreaking fire sticks is a thing, and it's not that hard to do. I'm not sure. I've never heard of anyone doing that. So
I don't know. I don't have a fire stick, so
this is my first rodeo. I don't either. So maybe I'm gonna reach out. Maybe we'll get schooled. All right, so here we go. Fire stick straight out of the box. Like, why does it matter if it was in his hand or in a box?
out of the box, and I handed it back to him on location that Monday morning. So.
Okay. No, but just understand that we had come across this information about you being on site on Tuesday,
Right.
and it just one of these loose ends that we need to tie
and
up.
I understand
And,
that. That's why I said I had no problem to come down and talk to you.
Sure, no problem. And I appreciate that. And I think you pretty well told me that you recognized that something was wrong, and you put a few things together that's
it just
tripping
seemed
your
like something
suspicion.
was off. That's why one of the first things I brought up to you guys is, okay, we're at the 319.
Mm-hmm.
That was the site that I met him on. I got a map out in my truck. Anything I can do to help. I went and got you guys a map so you guys could take pictures of it or whatever. You called me and asked if we'd go out to Cervi Ranch together. I said, yes, sir.
Yep.
Why aren't they asking him, when you felt like something was wrong, why didn't you call us?
Yep.
Why did you take it upon yourself to go out there and think you're going to find something for investigators?
Mm-hmm.
Because you had some suspicions.
And then to not mention it.
And then to not mention it the first time they talk.
Way to make yourself look suspicious.
Very. And now they're going to tell him, oh, I think you've pretty much explained things. No, he hasn't. He's raised more questions.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hesitate, and I drove straight from County Road 37 and 52 where I received your phone call.
Oh, my
Straight
God.
to Hudson and waited there for you until you guys arrived on location.
Yeah.
Because, I wanted to help.
Yeah. No, and
I didn't know it was going to turn out this way.
No, and I appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
But and obviously you thought something was up because that wasn't adding up.
Yeah, I pay attention to a lot of things. I've got like ADD. I notice stuff that's different. That a lot of people just kind of gloss over. But I've got so much that runs through my mind all the time. I don't remember everything. But then Chad and I started talking about the day that we were on that location, and that's whenever I remembered all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have a meeting with those gentlemen today. I'll tell them everything that I know, just to see if I can help out in any way, shape, or form. Because I can't believe what happened.
Yeah.
That's absolutely terrible. And then to read on number 7 or something like that, the tanks were involved with that too. Possibly. I don't know if that's the truth or not, and I don't know if you guys can't say that's part of the investigation, but I was standing right there by those tanks, and if I was that close to that blows my mind. It honestly does. I don't even know how to process this. I was starting to feel better a little bit, talking to the counselor a little bit. I didn't talk to him one-on-one. We talked to him in the group, And my buddy Tony Brown, he was bawling. Chad McNeil was visibly upset. I'd been crying most of the night once I found out the news. And I don't know. Anything I can do to help you guys, I'm more than willing to.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
But I just don't know. This is absolutely horrible. I've never been a part of this in my life. I've never been in trouble in my life, I don't have any experience with talking to officers or nothing.
Yeah, and understand, we're not accusing you of it.
Right, yeah. But I know it looks terrible.
It's just one of those loose ends we need to tie up. It's just one of those loose ends we need to tie up. I understand. Come back and I can say, yeah, he told us about, X, Y, and Z, and this is why he was there.
Yeah, because I wanted to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, did Anadarko bring in a counselor for you guys?
They did. It was a gentleman. It was an older gentleman. I don't remember his name. I've got the paperwork that he gave us we have like a counseling hotline that we can call if we need any help. And I believe he was here today's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's here today as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had our meeting yesterday morning and he sat and talked to us for about an hour, and then our boss came in and talked to us and he said, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, be able to say anything to you guys or anything about what had happened. Because it was Wednesday night, right, that it came across the news that he had confessed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Late Wednesday
Sorry,
night.
Yeah, late Wednesday night. Because
My
I was
day is
almost
just-
asleep, and then Tony Brown calls me, and he's bawling his eyes out.
Yeah.
And I said, this can't be true. And then we pulled it up, and we seen that it was true. And my wife cried unconsolably for an hour and a half. I was trying to calm her down. It's just been tough on everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't imagine the way that those families feel. Because they've been absolutely ripped apart.
Oh yeah.
And then to find out that she was pregnant with a little boy.
Yeah.
They invited me to their gender reveal party, and then it got deleted. I didn't know who deleted it or nothing, but it just, no gender reveal party. Because I believe that was supposed to take place on the 16th.
He was
Speaking of that,
invited?
do you know who Nicole
Yeah.
UTEF?
UTEF?
Cute.
Other than seeing her on the news, sir, for the interview that she did.
Yeah.
That's the only
That's the only person. That's the only way you know who that is.
No.
Okay.
Well, the other person, that Nicholas, that you guys have got going.
Nicholas.
Well, not you guys, but
Her kid.
You guys have seen him online. He's a bald gentleman. And in this interview on the news,
Nick
he sat on
Thayer.
a park bench with his wife right next to him.
Oh.
That was the gentleman I was telling you about that Chris would run with all the time.
Okay.
That he was running together trying to
Yeah.
get 5K.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Okay.
We
Gotcha.
talked to him.
Okay. But no, I didn't know any of the other Thrive group outside of any of that.
Okay.
Because the Thrive party that we went to, we built a vision board, which I still have in my house, and my wife still has hers.
Oh my God.
You're supposed to put your goals and cut out pictures and all that. So we done that with them. We ate supper with them. But like I said, that was, like February-ish or something,
Yeah.
Because I just met Shanann for the first time at our Anadarko Christmas party.
This most recent one.
Yeah, the last year's Christmas party. And I don't know what date that was or anything, sir, but because I.
Did NK go? Was she working there then?
To the Christmas.
Wait a minute.
party.
When did she start working at Anadarko?
April 2018.
Then how did she know who Shanann was to Google her in September of 17?
Well, exactly. Don't know.
She's not supposed to even know who they are.
Mm-mm. But maybe she did, and maybe that's why she started working there.
Oh
Maybe
my
she knew her
God, was
through
she stalking
Thrive stuff.
Shanann?
Possible. She might have known who she was through Thrive. Don't know.
Did they cross paths on social media?
Could have done. There's got to be a reason why she was searching her 2017.
How? She didn't even work there, and she was searching
Nope.
Shanann Watts.
Yep. Because she said that she'd only started working there a couple of months before her and Chris met.
Oh my God. I cannot with her. She's a psycho.
I text Chris and everything. We've been working together, long enough, and he wanted to sit by my wife and I. So we hollered at them. I got to meet Shanann, and found out how bubbly her personality was and just how awesome she was. And then I guess she had lupus, and by taking Thrive, it was able to help her,
Yeah.
And so my wife is suffering from acid reflux and everything, and she said, well, that might help you. So I got my wife on Thrive, and she's been doing better ever since, And I thank Shanann for that, because Juanita had to take medications all the time that just weren't helping her, So.
Yeah. It's a terrible circumstance, no matter how you look at it.
It is bad. I mean, the only other situation that I've ever been close to that would even resemble this at all, which it doesn't, would be my dad's passing. And that's the closest I've been to anything like that. I've been pretty fortunate in my life not to have anybody I know ever have any serious trouble, or nothing like that, or anybody else that I know personally pass. All my friends are still alive, by the grace of God. Thank God for that. But
These people didn't just pass.
Mm-mm.
What is he talking about?
to have something like this happen, the guy that I spoke with every freaking day for 2.5 years, and then just to go like that. And like I said on Friday, when I met him, he seemed fine, man. He was laughing, smiling. He went to the console, and it might still be in the console of that vehicle. They had gum, like little bubble gum deal. It was white, and it was like tangerine.
I can't with this guy. I can't. Yeah, tangerine gum.
Attention to those details.
Okay, make it make sense, potatoes.
How can we make it make sense, though?
I need you to make it make sense. So he's the last one there with Chris. Everything seemed normal. Then in this interview, he said he was suspicious. And now he's gone back to he was laughing and carrying on.
Yeah. But I also thought he said that he wasn't in that kind of mood that day. To be laughing
He's
and
said two
joking.
different things. Like
he's describing two
This
completely
day
different people.
why is there two Chris's? I'm with
Oh
him.
my
I'm
god,
with
that's
Coder.
what Coda said.
Yeah, I know he did. And now I get it why he said it. Chris, tell me, why are there two Chris's? But he's told us two different things. He said,
apparently Troy saw both Chris's that day at the same time.
both Chris. Why are I need a sound bite of Coder. Why are there two Chris's?
Oh, jeez.
And he gave it to each one of his girls, and he asked me would I like a piece of gum, and I took a piece of gum from him. You know, it's not off at all. Friday at all, just normal Chris. You know, and I can't fathom
It was
what
Friday.
would have happened between that time frame for any of this to take place. I just can't. But, I mean, anything y'all need from me.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
I'm more than willing to help, because I don't know what I can do at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, obviously seek counseling because this has affected you. I mean, it's affected pretty much everybody involved, us included. Just especially from being out at the site and the folks who, gone through the recovery process. It's a terrible circumstance.
Once that it was confirmed that something was out on the site, whenever I drove home yesterday, because they wouldn't let me drive my truck because I was freaking wrecked. And the gentleman that drove me home, I asked him, I said, is there any way that I can never have to go out to that area again? I can't stand being on that location because I knew her. I knew those two little girls. They played.
Who did he ask that he would never have to go out there? Who's the gentleman that drove his truck? What gentleman?
I don't know.
Sounds to me like his truck was looked at. Let's listen again. The gentleman that drove my truck. Like someone's just going to drive your truck that doesn't fucking know you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, obviously seek counseling because this has affected you. I mean, it's affected pretty much everybody involved, us included. Just especially from being out at the site and the folks who, gone through the recovery process. It's a terrible circumstance.
Once that it was confirmed that something was out on the site, whenever I drove home yesterday, because they wouldn't let me drive my truck because I was freaking wrecked. And the gentleman that drove me home, I asked him, I said, is there any way that I can never have to go out to that area again? I can't stand being on that location because I knew her. I knew those two little girls. They played with my girls. My girls loved them. I can't even watch the news because if my daughters, CCC and Bella, on there, I don't want to have to tell them that they're in heaven now. You know? I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry I went out to location on Tuesday. But it just didn't sit right with me.
His crying sure ended pretty quick. As quick as it started, it went away.
It honestly
You don't have to apologize for
Don't
that.
worry.
I think that's a very astute observation that you picked up something's wrong, and just that you put together the totality of the circumstances. And I think you went out there just to even ease your mind a little bit to say this can't possibly be.
So when I talked to you guys on Wednesday, before anything came out later on that evening, I told you I wanted to help you do whatever I could. Whether it was find the girls, if Shanann just went away or whatever she did with a friend, or clear his name. Because I honestly thought at that time he was innocent. But I wanted to know in my heart of hearts, if I seen anything odd out there, that I could call an officer and have them investigate it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was out there.
No, and I think that's a very reasonable explanation.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
This is kind of for later down the road when,
You know what this is? Wrapping old Troy up with a little bow and packing him away.
Mm-hmm.
They let it get all out and then they say, well, I think that's a reasonable explanation. I agree, Pee-wee.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
no, you're
fuck
fine.
directly
What you
off.
did was totally fine.
Oh my
Now let's wrap it up. Put it in a box and put it away.
Yep. Oh my God.
we have to be able to say, no, that's stupid. This is what actually happened.
That's fine. I mean, whatever you guys need from me.
Okay.
Honestly.
Does the name Mark sound familiar? Did Chris ever talk about a Mark in California?
No, he's never mentioned a Mark to me.
Okay. Any name that started with an M? Mark name may not be the right name.
Wait, why is he bringing up Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Went out to location on Tuesday, but it just didn't sit right with me. And honestly, I just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, anything y'all need from me.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
I'm more than willing to help because I don't know what I can do at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, obviously seek counseling because this has affected you. I mean, it's affected pretty much everybody involved, us included, just especially from being out at the site and the folks who, gone through the recovery process. It's been terrible
Yeah, as they-
circumstances.
As they slam the papers on the desk, like they're so
confirmed that
affected.
Something was out on the site.
Just another case.
Whenever I got drove home yesterday, because they wouldn't let me drive my truck because I was a
Yeah.
freaking wreck. And the gentleman that drove me home, I asked him, I said, is there any way that I can never have to go out to that area again? I can't stand being on that location because I knew her. I knew those two little girls. They played with my girls. My girls loved them. I can't even watch the news because if my daughters, CCC and Bella, on there, I don't want to have to tell them that they're in heaven now. You know? I don't know what
Stop
else to
crying.
do. But I'm sorry I went out to location on Tuesday. But it just
No.
didn't sit right with me. It honestly
You don't have
did.
to apologize for
Don't
that.
worry.
I think that's a very astute observation that you picked up on something's wrong.
Very astute, Troy.
And just that you put together the totality of the circumstances. And I think you went out there just to even ease your mind a little bit to say this
Well, yeah.
this can't possibly be.
So when I talked to you guys on Wednesday, before anything had came out, later on that evening, I told you I wanted to help you do whatever I could, whether it was to find the girls, if Shanann just went away or whatever she did with a friend, or clear his name. Because I honestly thought at that time he was innocent. But I wanted to know in my heart of hearts if I seen
Well, why
anything
didn't he
odd
say
out
on
there,
Wednesday
I'd call
that
the
he
officer
felt there was something
and have them
off and he went
investigate
back on
Yeah.
Tuesday?
And that's why.
Yeah, why he lied?
Yeah. I mean,
Why
they're in
didn't
the
he tell
perfect
them
time
about the
to
fucking
say
wedding ring, right?
it. Exactly. He knew about that on Monday and he wanted to do everything that he could to help. He spoke to them on Wednesday. He didn't mention the ring or that they were having issues. Didn't mention he went out on Tuesday. Why? He kept it for Friday.
And then brought it up like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, an afterthought.
This Juanita shit is weird too, that his wife's name is Juanita. And there's these weird things coming up from a school anonymous
Yeah.
thing. Somebody with school age children would use that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying they're from Deep Run, North Carolina. Like, what is that? Does that even exist?
Don't know.
Deep Run, North Carolina. Let's see. God, I'm almost afraid to know. A population of 572.
Wow, that's small.
I can't with you, Juanita. Hang on. I've got to share this. You have to see where this is. Ludicrous. What is Juanita doing? So, not Cody. What's his name that we're watching?
Troy.
Troy's wife name is Juanita. And a Juanita sent in a tip on August the 17th.
The same day as this interview?
Yep, at frickin' 12:53 a.m.
12:53 a.m.
And then
why are you calling in tips at 1 a.m.?
But wait, on the 16th, she also put a tip in at 17:03.
The same tip?
No.
What was the other one?
The other one was about Johnson Garcia. And she thinks Johnson Garcia is involved.
Is that the one who has the kid called Bella?
Yes.
Because she said there was something about.
There's two different.
He was given
There's the 16th and the 17th for her.
Yeah. So the first one said something about a man that was given misinformation about his wife or something.
Yes.
And then the second one was his name.
Johnson Garcia.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird.
He does not know.
He does not know. But this is Deep Run, North Carolina, where this Juanita says she's from. 500 people live there. Weird. Here's Fayetteville. Isn't that strange?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It could be, so it could
Random.
be nothing. It could be random. I know that was
Just a
small,
random
sorry.
person.
Can you see it better now?
Yeah.
So just, strange. All right, let's finish this up. We're almost through with Troy, thank God. We've only got about 5 minutes left or so. Okay, let me stop sharing that. Go back here.
Juanita called
just
Ellie with a
Juanita.
premonition.
I don't know what that is. I didn't see anything. I put Juanita and excuse me, that's all I got. I didn't get anything else in the discovery. I did see someone say that earlier, though.
Why was out there?
No, and I think that's a very reasonable explanation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is kind of for later down the road when, like maybe his defense counsel finds something like this.
Right.
And then wants to make some story up. We have to be able to say, no, that's stupid. This is what actually happened.
That's fine. I mean, whatever you guys need from me.
Okay.
Honestly.
Does the name Mark sound familiar? Did Chris ever talk about a Mark in California?
No, he's never mentioned a Mark to me.
Okay. Any name that started with an M? Mark name may not be the right name.
No.
Or anybody in California, actually.
He's real reserved in the fact that, he'll let you in on a little bit of stuff.
Okay.
Like he told me his wife and him were having a little bit of issues.
Right.
But he didn't say nothing about they were, going to get a divorce or anything like that. It was just issues. But no, when I talked to Chris, it was about fantasy football. He's a big Steelers fan.
And his marriage.
Because I follow Peyton Manning around, so.
And his wife's wedding ring.
And I had the 5.0 Mustang I told you about. Well, he used to have a Mustang whenever he lived in North Carolina, and when he moved out here with Shanann, they sold it. But he had it all souped up and everything. And since he was a Ford mechanic, I talked to him about issues or questions that I had with my Mustang. And then my wife has she had a Ford Flex, one of the ugliest vehicles on the road.
Yeah.
And we kept having issues with that because I bought it outright.
Yeah.
And that was my fault. I bought it from like one of those buy here, pay here places. But I just paid cash for it, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Had a hole in the gas tank. I drive it for
Nice.
2 weeks, and the transmission goes out.
Nice.
So that was like $5,000.
Yeah, right.
So no, I'd ask him questions about all that kind of stuff all the time. So all of our conversations were mostly upbeat, talking about sports, stuff like that. And since I, could sense just from, him telling me that they were having issues, I never asked. That's not my business. That's not my place. What goes on behind their closed doors, that's their business, because my wife and I almost went through a divorce 2 years ago, and I was the same way.
Oh my God, I cannot. So he just got done saying that all these guys come to him. He's the one that they can all come to, talk to, tell anything to. And now he's saying, what goes on in their lives is none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it?
Yeah, a whole lot of details for someone who's not interested in their business.
Yeah, we talked about fantasy football, but, I just got done telling you that his wife's wedding ring, which no one knew, was on the counter.
Mm-mm.
And I was also out there because I thought something was up with the way he was dressed. Instead of lace-ups, he had pull-ons. So I thought I'd go meander around the field. Yeah, because that's what I do when a coworker acts weird. Is I go roam in the fucking field.
Yeah.
At the last place I saw them at. Because why would he associate that place with Chris's behavior?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, fuck that. He wouldn't. He would think something happened at home if they're having problems. Why would
Mhm.
he go back out to that site and be like, oh,
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah. Or if he thought that they were missing, why is he going to go back out to that site? I mean,
Why would he even think they would be
odd,
there?
especially because they were there Monday.
Something stinks.
Understood.
Yeah. Have you talked to Luke the last couple
Yes,
days?
sir. Yes.
How's he doing?
Pretty rough.
Yeah, he was pretty twisted up.
Yeah. I spoke to him today, and just because I wanted to touch base with my supervisors and tell them that I was coming in today. And he said, okay, buddy, you know, if you need anything, he asked me, did he need to drive up? Because he was at the office today. He brought his personal Suburban down because the gentlemen that weren't able to drive home, Victor Zavala and Daniel Barr, and I believe Melissa. Melissa didn't catch a ride with the gentleman yesterday, but Victor Zavala and Daniel Barr did. So Luke lives out in Wiggins, so he picked those guys up and brought them in his Suburban. And he asked me, did I need to ride down here, you know, to have an interview with you guys? And I said, no, it's okay. I said, have my kids drive me down. That way I can go ahead and pick up my work truck, you know, and drive it back home. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he's pretty shaken.
Yeah.
You know, and Chad McNeil, he's pretty shaken as well. And then Tony Brown, he was just all sorts of tore up. I've never seen that man cry in my life. And he was just sobbing the whole entire time we were at the office. And we were talking, you know, about how to, you know, try to let things go and everything, you know, and move on to the future. This guy drew out like a little diagram on the board. I mean, he was just almost inconsolable, you know. And it's just tough because I'm looked to as leadership in the group. You know, we're right below Luke, you know, for answers and everything. So all those guys talk to me all the time, you know, and that's why I feel like they're all brothers. You know, I do anything for them. And, you know, even Melissa's a sister, you know, even though she's new to the group, she's excellent. You know, she used to be an EMT and everything. So it's pretty cool having her part of the group.
Yeah.
But.
All right. Well, thanks for coming down and talking to us again.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
You know, if you think of anything, I gave you my card last time, didn't I?
Yes, sir, you did. I believe I still have both your
Okay.
cards. Let
Yeah,
me verify that, though.
Yep. If you think of anything, you know, give me a call or send me an email.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Philip Jones?
Yep.
And Greg?
Is that there?
Okay, I don't want to mess that up.
That's
I'm terrible at pronouncing
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
I need
So
to
yeah,
hook
I've
on
been
phonics
cold.
sometimes.
I've been cold a lot worse. So
Yeah. But make sure you talk this whole situation through with people just for your own mental health, because this is a terrible situation,
Yeah.
no matter how you slice it. So everybody's been affected by it that was close to him, family, coworkers,
Yeah.
neighbors, pretty much
You know,
everybody, the whole
I
community.
wish that I knew, but like I seen on Facebook, they're raising a GoFundMe page.
Okay.
To be able to, I think, get Shanann and the girls back out to North Carolina so they can be, you know, laid to rest properly.
Oh, yeah.
And I called Luke and asked him if Anadarko would be willing to donate. And he went to some of the higher ups, you know, and all I got to do is take a picture of that link and be able to send it to them. And I think they're going to try to donate to be able to help out the family
that's good.
to get them back home.
That's
Because
good.
all of us were blindsided by this.
Oh, yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
So, well, even from our point of view, Anadarko has been very nice to us.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and they've really gone above and beyond. And I think you're blessed to work for the company that you work for because they really have stepped up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've been with them for 11 years. And, you know, it just seems like we had a bad stretch of luck last year. Firestone.
Yeah, that shit
That
happens.
was a horrible, horrible incident.
Yeah.
And then now, you know, it's already on the news that he worked for us.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what that's going to do eventually.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it, man.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Or, sorry, I called you. I was thinking about Luke.
I wish I was Luke, man.
Thanks.
That's a six-figure job right there.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can't believe what he does. You know, I found out he's leaving our group. You know, he's going to be a different area's foreman. It sucks.
Dude, this guy never stops talking.
I know, like they're
He
trying to
was-
leave. And he's carrying on.
He's talking about Luke's job now. Holy hell, he's a trip. I don't know what to think of him. Like, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I think he knows more than he should. I think he's definitely got some information there and some thoughts that normal people wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I mean,
then
I
he's
never knew-
also like real chatty, you know?
never knew anything about him before because I honestly never even thought about him. I know that people had suspicions about him and stuff, but now I see why, because he wasn't honest.
No, he definitely lied. And he was out there backed up where freaking
Like in the same
Shanann
spot.
was. Yes.
Why?
And
Like,
then
was he
lied
trying
about
to
why he was
reenact?
there. hmm
Mhm.
Lied about why he was there. And
Mentioned
then
his
he
wrench a million times.
and then he literally like contradicted himself a few times in this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
at the end they say, "Oh, well, this seems reasonable.
Yeah, I know.
Have a good
Like,
night, Mr. McCoy."
no questions about why I didn't mention it before. No, it's all fine. It's
The
perfectly
freaking
reasonable
wedding
for you to do
ring.
that. I know. That's probably the most shocking bit. He
He
knew
said
about that
Monday
ring
morning.
Monday morning. And it really sounded like he thought it was downstairs because he said it was on a counter and they're like, well, do you know which one? He's like, well, the dining table's in that same vicinity. So he was thinking it was on that lower level,
Yep.
but then it was found upstairs.
Hmm.
So did Chris tell him it was downstairs or was he assuming? Strange.
Yeah, exactly, Deanna. He knew about things
Yeah.
that weren't released. Yep. Kind of like that email that came in from family heating at AOL.com about the calculator app.
Oh, yeah. With what's her name? What was her name? Ferris.
Heidi Ferris.
Heidi Ferris.
Yeah. Apparently, she was allegedly the hooker of Anadarko
She worked her way through all of them.
before NK.
Mm-hmm.
Brat, he said that he had been there. Her question is, how did he know the layout? He'd been there and made a vision board
Yeah.
for a Thrive party. Yahoo! Weird. I don't picture that guy making a vision board, but
I guess
make
when
it
he
make
probably
sense.
did.
Can you make it make sense? You can't.
Mm-mm. I
When
mean,
Potato
how?
can't make it make sense, I'm a lost cause.
Where do you even start, though?
Look what Kelly said. I'm glad you played this interview. It was mind blowing when I listened to this the second, third, and now fourth time.
Isn't it crazy, though? Like, it doesn't matter how many times you listen to this stuff, you always hear something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's another contradiction, Heather. He claimed he hardly knew Chris, but he's making vision boards at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
then
he
his
was
wife,
Chris's
Juanita.
he was Chris's closest friend at work, though, wasn't he?
Yes,
Sounds
when
like they
Luke
kind of
Epple,
talked a lot.
yep, Luke Epple was asked, who would you say, Chris's closest work buddy is? Troy McCoy, hands down.
Mhm. Yeah. So literally everything is a contradiction.
Everything.
And for what reason? Why, if you did know someone, like you were the person someone spoke to the most at work, why would you say that, oh, I don't really know him that well?
I don't know.
Like, why is the reason?
I don't know, dude, but like he gave him tangerine gum.
Yeah.
And his emotions seem to be kind of
Oh, gosh.
faked. I mean, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but like when he went out to the site to look for his crescent wrench and he was asked, like, why are you out here? He didn't seem all tore up being out there that day. I mean, granted, they hadn't been found yet.
He didn't know, yeah.
That's true.
And it would be like, I can't even imagine how those workers felt knowing that they were out there that morning at the tanks.
Oh, it would be absolutely shocking, wouldn't it?
Horrific. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine trying to deal with those emotions knowing you were right there.
TM and NA. Who's TM?
Troy McCoy.
Oh, And then he says he's never even met her. So he went to Thrive parties at Shanann and Chris's, but NA wasn't there.
I can't imagine her not being there.
I thought that was really weird.
Unless it was before. I don't know.
Oh, Sleuth in sandals. Look at her kitty. Cute.
Aw.
Sleuth in sandals. Socks and sandals.
Sexy.
Well, Troy had his wrench. We will never forget about Crest wrenches.
Did he say if he found his wrench?
You know, he didn't. No, he really hadn't lost it. Remember, that was a lie. That was not the truth.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fake besties. Yep.
Mm-hmm. They definitely were.
Who's both from the same place? Capricorn. Capricius. Look how many kitties we have in chat. My screen is so like crazy because it's like I told you a million times. It's a TV screen, so it's got, and I'm close to it. Leah, or Lily looks like the Mona Lisa to me. Her profile picture.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 12 kitties? Do you live in Florida? Oh my God, it's so cute. Capricorn loves pussy. Well, you're in the right place, I guess. Y'all are sick in chat, just sick. I get it now, Brad. I get it now. Okay, so tomorrow night, folks, we're going to be going over if Potato can handle another night. Yes. If not, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll be or in chat.
Yeah.
But we're going to be watching Rourke's press conferences.
I can't miss that one.
No, and I've already pre-edited it. So there's going to be some laughs, not to make fun of victims or the crimes, of course, but you know how we roll here. We throw a little humor in when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Not when it's inappropriate. And personally, after watching these press conferences over and over and over and editing and playing certain parts over and over and over, Rourke infuriates me. But furthermore, you know, I didn't realize how involved the FBI. I never really sat and really thought how involved the FBI was in this case and why. But they were very, very pivotal because if you go back to our Tammy Lee part 2 with Carter's calls, she's always like, I got to talk to the FBI guy. Got to talk to the FBI guy. She talks to the FBI guy, and what happens?
He
Carter's
shuts
cut
that
off.
shit down.
Yep. Stand down, Tammy Lee.
Yep.
So this goes, I hate to say it, but I got like this weird feeling at one point in the interview, and we'll talk about, or the press conference, and I'll bring it up tomorrow, of course, because that's all I do is run my mouth. But there's one point though where I get a vibe from Rourke of frustration when he's asked a question by a reporter. And you guys are going to be blown away because I know you're going to say, oh, God, there's going to be people. We've watched these press conferences. This is nothing new. Well, guess what? Every copy of the press conference that I found after the sentencing, you couldn't hear a thing of the reporter's questions. You could just hear him answering. Well, I went through the audio. It took me all fucking night. And Potato, you can vouch because you were getting up in the morning and I said, dude, I ain't slept.
Yes. Yep.
I've been working on
all night
the press
on videos.
Right?
Yep.
Yes. So I went through and every part where the reporters asked questions, I had to raise the freaking roof because you couldn't hear them. Dude, these reporters were on his ass. They were asking about the swabbing of the girls' necks. They asked about Has he said anything more since the first confession? And Rourke had to answer. Wait until you hear it. Wait till you see his face and his reactions, because I got a vibe from him at one point that felt like frustration, like almost like it was out of his hands that certain things were happening.
I can't wait to see it now.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. It really is. Because I had no idea what these reporters were saying. And usually, they're just run-of-the-mill questions. But no, man, they were holding them to, did Chris Watts say did he end up saying he killed the girls? And this is after sentencing.
So they're asking the questions that we're asking.
After sentencing, yes. And he had to stand there and answer them. And watching him answer them is really, really interesting. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be going over Rourke's press conferences. So thanks again, everyone, all of the Roberters and Robertolinos and others. I opened it up to everyone tonight, I think. Hopefully we didn't have too many jerks in chat. I want to thank Kelly for coming up and being in chat tonight. She's probably gone to bed, and of course, the lovely British Potato.
Thank you for having me on again.
Oh, I have to play a video. Oh my God, see, I sounded like you. Did you hear that?
I have to play a video.
Yes, I did it. I told you it comes out every now and then. It's so weird.
I do the same thing. That's why I sound so
video.
strange.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. I've been wanting to play this for a long time and I kept forgetting about it. This is a funny thing. Hang on, I just got to pull it up. Oh my gosh, all these videos I have saved. The future Mrs. Charles Manson. I can't believe I just talked like a Brit. Like, that is so funny.
Gonna have to clip that.
Yeah, because I don't know if you'll catch that again. I'm going to be on high alert now. Okay, hold up. Oh, geez. Wouldn't you believe that I can't find it now? All right, I'll have to pull it up for tomorrow.
Okay.
Boo. I thought I had 2 videos. It's like some funnies. And now I can't find them. You would think I had at least one pulled up. Darn it. I got to clean out my watch later folder. I've got so much stuff in here. You guys wouldn't even believe it. I mean,
I add stuff to that thing. Yeah, no, I do. I add stuff to it and then completely forget that I've added stuff to it.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
never go back and watch later.
I'm not even that far back, and I'm just on Johnny Depp stuff, and it's like there's a lot in here. But sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find something, but I can't. I mean, I'm trying to pull something out of my butt, but it didn't work. So Bundy's a poop butt, and so are you guys. And oh, Mike Sanner, we have to have a soundbite of Jay's Brit accent.
I agree, Mike.
Don't you know?
Or no.
Or no.
Or have a video. So many
video. I need to play a video. You think they would ask more important questions? Don't you know?
You'd think.
All right. Well, I'm so excited to go over these press conferences with you guys tomorrow. So
yeah, I can't wait.
Get some sleep, potatoes, and let me know how you're feeling tomorrow. And if you want to come up, you are more than welcome.
I will definitely be here because I do not want to miss that.
All right. I always got to get y'all's opinion. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, dance it out, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't